It's not easy being homeless. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And he didn't have a mom or dad to help him get through. He said, help me, Father, help me. And he looked up to the sky, and he heard a voice reply. When you cry, I cry. I cry along with you. When you smile, I smile. I smile along with you. When you cry, I cry.
Based on a
I
true
cry
story.
along with you. When you smile, I smile.
Leaves me giving. Girl, just like magnet, just steal your love. Keeps pulling me in. If it's a battle I fight for you, I have to win. To prove to you my love, so deep within. It's even getting deeper since I reached prison. Longing for my baby to love me more. What am I longing for? Babylon release the cure. What am I longing for? My baby to love me more. What am I longing for? Babylon release the cure. When can we see each other walking? And when can we see each other walking? I know that someone must be there comforting you whenever you need a friend. I'll make you mine. Give me some time. Surely make you mine. It may be long, but not forever. Ever. Get myself together. I love you, baby. Always on my mind. No matter the time.
Since I've been loving you, every day's been a better day. Since I've been loving you, all my pain has gone away. Since I've been loving you, I've seen my life turn around. The time's been going down. Since I've been loving you, life has been heavenly, so heavenly. I don't wanna sound like it was sorry, 'cause I wouldn't change a thing about my past days. That's when I learned so much about love and games. Oh, loving you has been a whole new experience in life for me. Oh, it feels like heaven on earth to me. That since I've been loving you, every day has been a better day. Since I've been loving you, all my pain has gone away. Since I've been loving you, see my life turn around. The time's been going down. Since I've been
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
A brown skin. Girl, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms and brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. Brown skin. Yes, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms and a brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. The way you smile, the way you attire, the way you take care of yourself. In every way you make my day, you know I want you for myself. I see to your eyes that it's me, it's only me can love you so, baby. Hot like a fire, my heart desire. She pretty like a Maya. A brown skin, girl, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms and brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. Brown skin. Yes, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms and a brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. When dangers of your life be right,
Jah protect us from any
no get no blind. Me put them in the fire, make the whole of them go fry. So me say again, oftentimes they try to prove, yo, and try to put their foot in my shoes, yeah. They're mentally confused. Try this the king and now the whole of them. Jah protect us from enemy, and He make we know friend you need, yeah. Protect us from enemy, even when them up enemy. Jah protect us from enemy, and He make we know friend you need, yeah. Protect us from enemy, even when them up enemy. All right, good to be good, bad to be bad. Oh, good to be joyful and bad to be sad. Oh, it's good to be sober and bad to be mad. Oh, they never try to lose the love that you had. Now on your name, joy for all. I will never stand aside and watch the ghetto youths them a fall. Joy for all. I tell the ghetto youth them rise up and never. Whoa! Joy for all. Ghetto youth man want to see your back. I eat up all against the wall. Joy for all. Equal rights and justice for all. She's a one of a kind girl. One of a kind girl. One of a kind girl. And I don't need another in my world. One of a kind girl. She's a one of a kind girl. One of a kind girl. And I don't need another.
When you say you love me, no, I love you more. When you say you need me, no, I need you more. Boy, I adore you. Boy, I adore you.
Alright, so fine, yes girl, you're so fine. Think we really need to spend more time. See it clear, cause I love you, you're not blind. If it was a felony, me charge for the crime. Girl, don't play with my mind. I will be there, will never treat you unkindly. I'm yours, so girl, just be mine. Tell you, say me love you from a long, long time.
When you
Yeah.
say you love me, no, I love you more. When you say you need me,
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning.
boy, I adore you. Boy, I adore you.
Someday, I know that we're gonna move from here to our own place. I believe that we are gonna make it to God's
We are the
place.
trending station.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, baby, but have a little faith, 'cause I never leave you.
1069.
I will be there every time you close your eyes. I will be there. I'll wake up by your side like your shadow. I will stick by you, and I'll always be around.
Hey, good morning to Quincy. Wadada, see you already in the house, man. Remember to share the live. DJ Shady is here, Mario is here, and we have a good one for you today on OMG.
Two pretty little girls, one baby boy, and even one more. I'll take you to every city with me on a worldwide tour, 'cause I never leave you. I will be there every time you close your eyes. I will be there. I'll wake up by your side like your shadow. I will stick by you. I'll always be around. I'm gonna stick by you.
I tell them reggae make you rock, rock, rock. Reggae make you rock some more. I say rubber, dub. Reggae make you rock some more. Having fun this time around. To the sweet, sweet reggae sound. Smiling faces, no see, no frown. The music gets you high way off the ground. Yeah. Feel the vibe when everybody gather round. Woy-yo. Select a string it up, we want to hear the sound. Woy-yo. See man and woman, them a rock. Everybody feel a vibe, nobody and no dead stock. No pain when music hits. Robert Nesta said that. So pull up that one you're from top. That one your name reggae make you rock, rock, rock. Reggae make you rock some more. I say rubber, dub. Reggae make you rock some more. Having fun this time around to the sweet.
Hey, and remember, if for some reason you can't log into our live on Facebook, you can hit us up on WhatsApp, send us a message, or call us live on air, man. This one is coming down from Barry's Hammer, the legendary.
Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. Hey. We danced all night to the songs they played. We can come again, do it just the same. Hey. Now I feel it in my heart. We in such a golden time at the party. Now there's hardly any safe place left to go. Someone's bound to come and try to spoil the show. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. Hey. We danced all night to the songs they play. We can come again. We do it just the same. Hey. Jamaica. Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, yeah. Chimney. Oh, hey DJ, can you play that song? Set the mood for me to all a different energy. I'm loving how the music sounds. You see the woman, them we are brave. Hey, chimney, give me a little one drop. Make the bass line roll and catch. I'm in love how the rhythm just a tap. Me and my woman a rock. Give me a little one drop. Make the bass line roll and catch. I make we couple up and double up and one vibe non-stop. Me love it, me love the juggling. All the one foot mother dance, so do no problem. Yo, never make up a face, no need mugging. Good vibes in the place, no one watching. Long time, so when I feel like this, yeah, me like this. Stepping well clean, so fresh. Oh yes, so blessed. Give me a little one drop. Make the bass line roll non-stop. Me love how the rhythm just a tap. Me and my woman a rock. Give me a little one drop. The music from Jamaica. I make we couple up and double up and all a vibe non-stop. It's like the drum and the bass line. You have it to hold you wind up your waistline. On it, me make one stop. It's just one drop of your love. To hold you at me up a strap with lyrics. Give me the words and the melody to sing it. So make one stop. One drop of your love. Oh, one drop.
Hey, you're listening to the voice of Taurus Riley. Oh, I'm going with Wiley boy, like as I've been mentioned. Hey, it's 7 a.m. in St. Vincent the Grenadines, and we're taking you to the top of the hour.
Boom 1069 is trending.
Double up and all of I'm non-stop. It's something called Jimmy Records present that thing called one job for you others. Special request to all the nice and decent people. Wow, baby. And the voice of God, that's why they sing it, represented. Hey, warm and easy. Oh, no, come in.
We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
Me say action movie, you don't know it go. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom 1069.
The ginger beer sweet, the sorrel sweet. Hey Julia, you have anything better? I went by dawn on Christmas morn. The sweetness, she offering sweetness. I go down the road, I bump
Hey, good morning to our very own Jill. Jill is live on. She's on our live. Soon we're gonna get Jill. But for those who are traveling in the vans, I like to big them up. Those early morning workers and so forth. Big them up. Those who are getting ready for school as well. And all you wonderful people out there, keep it locked on to Boom 106.9.
Who's door you knocking? Our government door we knocking. We are tell them bring out something. We are beg you bring out something. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. Oh God, neighbor. Oh God, neighbor. Your wife know me neighbor. Is your best friend neighbor. You better rise up, hey, rise up.
Hey, doctor, oh, I come in to check me pressure, me Christmas pressure. Yes, I ain't feeling much better, oh, I come in to check me pressure, me Christmas pressure. Because Christmas coming and I want to make sure that I fit and healthy to go partying more. I am not ignoring, I have hypertension. But when Christmas come, I want a piece of sultan. So doctor, tell me what to do. Can I take a piece? Just a little piece. Can I put a piece of ham in my callaloo? Yes. Can I take a piece? Just a little piece. You see, Christmas I'm missing. Like I'm going loco. Oh yeah. It's not my intention to ignore hypertension. So doctor, tell me what to do. What to do, doctor? Can I take a piece? Just a little piece. Hey, doctor, good luck. I want to check my pressure, please. Hey, Milton Cato Memorial, oh, I come in to check me pressure. Come there. Me Christmas pressure. Modern medical complex, oh, I come in to check me pressure. Right there. Me Christmas pressure. Because Christmas coming and I want to make sure that I fit and healthy to go partying more. I am not ignoring, I have hypertension. I need my heart. But when Christmas done, I want a piece of sultan. Oh yeah. So doctor, tell me what to do. Can I take a piece? Just a little piece. Just a little piece. Can I put a piece of ham in my callaloo? Yes. Can I take a piece? It's a little piece.
Sing me Noel, sing me joyously Noel. Joyously sing of the news we have to tell. Born to us in the little village of Bethlehem on this day is the little Christ child so pure and holy. He's sleeping there in the hay. Sing me Noel, sing me joyously Noel. Joyously sing of the news we have to tell. Born to us in the little village of Bethlehem on this day is the little Christ child so pure and holy. He's sleeping there in the hay. Oh, little baby, no other place was found except in a manger with cows and sheep around. Yet the glory of this wee baby was sung by angels so fair. There were wise men and shepherds to give him honor and bring him presents so rare.
Boom 1069.
So tell me, I wonder if the vendors checking the Christmas pressure. What do you think going on there? Huh?
There's a lot of pressure for the Christmas, boy. You heard them yesterday.
What's a lot of pressure for the Christmas?
The vendor situation.
What about the vendor situation?
Good morning.
What about the vendor situation?
There, man.
Tell me about the vendor situation.
Oh, well, as of Thursday, the vendors expected to go into the new markets that
Right.
were built.
Mhm.
However,
However,
a lot of the vendors say they don't know anything about the opening on Thursday. So hopefully by today and tomorrow, they should get more information.
Right.
But a number of them are also complaining that the issue would disrupt their finances for the upcoming Christmas season.
yeah,
So we went on the street yesterday and we spoke to a number of them.
that's right.
We saw some nice setting up like a grocery outlet. We saw fish vendors. We saw a lot of these vendors, and they would have expressed their concern. A number of them would have said they don't have any problem with the town cleaning up. Yes, indeed, it's a bit too congested with the vending.
Right.
However, there is need for regulation. There need for better communication, and also I heard my pastor yesterday speaking about compassion and compassion, and what was the other one? Compliance. Compliance. And
Right,
I received a message from a friend who complimented the pastor
Right.
on in his statement. So I have to give him kudos for that.
Right.
And they weren't so kind to Mario.
That's all right. That's all right. Again, mash up right through. That's okay. That is okay.
Good techniques.
Well,
good
listen,
techniques.
man.
Yeah.
Well, there are more things to stoops about,
Oh,
you know.
Jesus, man.
There are
Oh,
more
Jesus.
things to stoops about. But let's see if we can revisit. I'm sure I can revisit this thing quickly.
Revisit this thing. I know you got some big news for us.
No big
but
news.
I mean, you
What big
tell
news
me,
you talking about?
The big man making some statement.
That's not no big news. I gotta let you know what's going on with that in 2 seconds here.
Big up Preston, big up Bernadette. As already, I big up Jillian.
Yeah.
Preston is saying good morning, Fonando, Mario, and Shady. Morning, OMG family. Greetings from a wet
Look
London.
at that. Well, as you can see here, the town board.
Yeah.
As you can see on my screen here, hopefully you're seeing it on the screen. You're seeing it on the screen?
Yeah,
You're seeing it on the
yeah,
screen?
yeah.
Town board will no longer facilitate street vending requests. No longer, son.
You see,
Right?
you see request?
Listen,
Let me give me some context in that story. Because request is
vending
different.
requests.
Request.
Listen.
So those who already there.
The Kingstown Town Board will not allow anyone to carry out vending operations on the streets of Kingstown once it has been cleared. Once they have been cleared. This was made clear by the warden of the Kingstown Town Board, Mr.
Bergen.
Clayton Bergen.
Yeah.
Let's hope we can grab him and have an interview with him today or tomorrow. In an interview with the SPG Times on Monday, he says, we're asking persons to take note that when we clear the streets, don't come to town and to the town board and ask to go set up, because it will not be facilitated and the law will be enforced to ensure it does not happen. This would simply be unjust to those who were removed and a step back based on the vendors relocation project. So this is a story that we got from the St. Vincent Times.
Yeah, and I hear what Bergen is saying, but what I want to know from Bergen as well is
What do you want to know from Bergen?
why haven't more vendors been informed about the relocation? What is happening
communication goes two ways, and you have to put on your listening ears too. Huh?
What do you mean?
People that say what they want to hear. No?
there? What are you saying?
What mean why say it?
Yeah.
How come some hear and some didn't?
I hardly hear much people here. But
So we running
most
in
of them.
so we running in different
most of them,
circles.
most of them that we spoke to,
Ah.
you would have heard they say them saying that they didn't know anything about that.
Ah.
You know what I mean? So that is something that has to be rectified. Plus, you heard someone said yesterday
Yeah, why
it
here?
was the government during NDP. Well, it was the ULP during the NDP time who told the vendors not to
Right.
come off of the street.
Right.
So
Right.
now they're using back that same strategy
Right.
to say, hey, you're in power. You told us not to come off the street.
Right.
Now you want us off the street.
Yeah. That doesn't hold any kind of water when it comes to the law right now. So because they told them that back then, they have no right to change their mind and clean up the place now.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you if that's how you see things, and that's weird.
So what about if the NDP was to say, the guys don't move?
Well, they could say that if they want, right? If they think that that's a winning strategy, go ahead. I just don't. I don't see that being a winning strategy. I don't think anybody is saying that there should be vendors all over Kingston.
So okay, right, fair enough. In terms of the what we was discussing yesterday is the area there outside market.
Yeah.
What's the optimal word they were using? Make it a the street in just outside the market where they want to vend. They were saying to make it a designated.
Yeah,
a designated vending area. So you have no issue with that, right?
If it's within the confines of the law and it's put there by whoever is in power, whoever is making the laws.
Right, but before it goes into law, would you advocate for that to be?
I would advocate for designated areas. Probably not that area.
But you don't think that area just outside is a nice area for vending? And lock off the traffic?
Just lock off the traffic. How that makes sense?
Yeah, well, obviously, if there are a lot of vending, there are movement of persons there, you would want to, ensure that there wouldn't be any real disruption from the traffic.
So what about normal business?
You mean normal business? Normal business go on as usual. And maybe it
wouldn't congest things by way of the traffic flow.
Well, maybe it might be a matter of what days they're using to do such.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's properly planned out, and you can come, early mornings on Sunday or whatever until X time, or early morning on what day until X time, but you can't do that during regular business hours.
Sophia Jacobs says it's gonna be very hard. Lots of fight. They'll get two sides. People need to eat the food, and people have to cooperate to relocate and reduce congestion in Kingston.
Right.
It's time that people vend close to home in your community.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be Kingston vending. But have some designated areas, around, so that people in different communities can get their fresh produce.
Yeah, fair enough, and that's a good suggestion. It would be good to hear from vendors and some persons who know about vending, who know about the business of vending as well, because there is a number of places that sells produce in. I think Georgetown have one, like a sort of Saturday market and so forth. But I don't know how effective it is, because for some reason we have this idea or this sort of cultural thing that everybody wants to go to town, even though they probably can get a product close by. And I was speaking to a vendor as well in Kingston who knows about it. He said, listen, let's say, for example, if you're selling stuff like shoe and clothing and so forth in a community, person would still prefer to leave that community to go into town. I don't know if it's the spectacle of shopping in Kingston or just the feeling of being in Kingston that makes them do it. But that is something I think is a mindset that we need to get out of. But I wanna. It would be good to hear from more business persons who sell their produce outside of Kingston. What is business like and so forth. Right. Preston say, I think a marketplace at Annisville could solve the problem.
Easy peasy, Japanese. Yeah. And could it be that because there's been a culture of bringing everything to Kingston, that people think that not bringing it to Kingston won't work?
It's possible. That they're feeling like that.
So we want to know what you think. Do you think that markets around the rural areas would work? Decentralize the thing?
Yeah. We want to hear from persons what they think about decentralization. Well, a lot of persons are advocating for it, indeed. But it's just that you want to hear from the persons who are actually doing it. Or know of persons who are doing it, and how well they are doing. So we have Anne-Marie. You want to read Anne-Marie's comment?
Why? Anne-Marie says, I think, let me see if I can put this on screen so that everybody can see that in line. I think it's a sad state of the economy why vending has significantly increased. People need to live. What if vendoring can be done in a more dignified manner, like building proper tables and so on? Just saying, because at the end of the day, the government can supply jobs for everyone. So what's next?
Okay. And Sophia Jacobs said the reason they run into Kingston is because tourists, when they come, they don't venture into rural areas. They mainly tour around town and head back. What do you think?
I don't know, but there's a push to get tourists out of Kingstown as well. Remember, they were talking about all the facilities that are being built at, well, not the facilities, but the hotel. And Diamond is poised to be, what did they say, a tourism hub?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We have a call already. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my brother.
Hey, good morning.
And I just want to say to you again, we've been going through this matter for the longest while, and
yes.
you keep going back over it and asking which businessman will call. Anybody who call other than Hammy, they don't have that strength. And I'm saying that you have to encourage them to tell them. Mr. Graves, if you call here and tell me how your business going, Mr. Sprott, Mr. We will defend you here. You could defend them. You have that power for us to defend people, because people should not be afraid.
What we're talking about, Ham, is the small businesses.
I am talking big business. I'm talking all businesses. This is Mr. Hamilton. I call them. I don't have to call the name. In fact, I was speaking to my brother on the other radio station, right? And he said, don't say that, Mr. Sprott, don't say anything about Mr. Vera, because I said that they can't pay bonus, and I'm saying that Graves and all other businesses, it's going to be very difficult for them to give any contribution, any, if anybody goes to them to ask them for any monies and so on, they will not be in that position, because right now they could hardly pay the light bill. And I want to say to you that the reality to tell the public, tell the people who are listening in England, I know they're listening, about 5 of them, I spoke to them, tell them that cannot happen under this current dispensation. And so you see Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, you see St. Kitts, you see St. Lucia now elevated to 8%. Why? Because the economy basically is vibrant. How is it vibrant? You build back the basic productive sector when you don't have a productive sector. And so what is our situation? Tourism that used to do 375 million under the NDP, a little bit less under the Milton Cato administration. Do we do 20 million? And so you're going to say, well, the reason why we're doing that is because of the coronavirus. That is not true. We have lost tourism. We have lost agriculture. We used to do 245 million. If we do 1 million now, 85% of our lands are followed. Bananas, basically, that accounted for 71% of that was willfully destroyed. And so currently the economy is dead. And how do we know it? Last year, April, Mr. Gonsalves said I would not be able to pay salaries anymore. I heard my friend Abraham was speaking about a situation why Mr. Gonsalves didn't want to pay the civil servants, why he sent them home because he didn't have the money. Is that not he didn't have the money? He never had the money. Even up to when I was at Jesco, we could get millions of dollars. I could even get 5,000 a month. And so what has happened is that the economy is dead. How is it that the economy we run in our country? How does Mr. Gonsalves pay 30 million a month? When he said last he was going to run, because he goes to the NCD bank. The NCD, the overdraft is around 32 million, and he carries it up 60 and 70 million. It means that the bank is in trouble, or he will borrow money from one of the private sector, NAS and so on, and destroy it.
30 seconds, Hammer.
And so I always say to you, don't come on here to act. The businesses, every business. You see them, look at people going inside. You see van drivers. You see the little small business and so on. Every business are going to remain cash-strapped until we build back our economy. And the only way we can do that is to get Mr. Gonsalves administration out and put somebody on sale, not on the Friday, not on the liquor.
Who you like? Before we go, who you think?
We need to get people
anybody
who are
but
going
them.
to account for our money, who are not going to put away.
You have any name? You have any name in the mix?
That, I believe that that we have good people. I talk about Sylvia Sunderland being one of the persons who are very knowledgeable in terms of the economy and credibility. And all you young guys, I will put you two young guys to run out because you would walk with it. You would account for taxpayers' money. You would put your daughter, your son, or your family to be a accountant. Not only you would account for money, and you would walk and you would run our country, your account for, and we would move forward.
Thank you very much.
All right.
That's Hammer there, man.
All right, man. See, just get them out. Reset
if you
the
want
whole
a
thing.
campaign manager, Shady, run Southern Grenadines. Hamo, as we would have asked, we wanted vendors to comment. Somebody says speaker will want the boss loud enough to scream.
Yeah.
But Hamo, you gotta take it down a bit for our listeners, okay? We understand the passion, but yeah. Okay, Mario, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Let's hear what's on the voice note here.
Hey, morning. Boom.
Morning.
Crew, everybody and everybody.
Morning.
No, I used to sell in town.
Used to sell in town.
I used to sell in town.
Okay, he used to sell in town.
Too much of people.
Too much of
I
people
sell
in
back
town.
home.
So you sell back home.
And the struggle.
You say it's a struggle selling
Just
back
like in
home.
town.
Right.
Yeah, you sell Sunday time. Everybody don't go in town Friday and Saturday. Because the country van will drive around and sell, so they sell Sunday time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? I see that there's always a vegetable spot there in Brighton where the Phoenix Ranch used to be. There's always a vegetable spot there. And on Saturday mornings, someone comes out right at the corner by the church there and puts out their thing, and they do a little bit of vending there. So those two areas are like known for vendors. Even in Caliaqua, when you're passing right across from the Caliaqua playing field there is someone selling vegetables right by the tire shop there, right in front, right where Nolly B normally is on a weekday. Yeah, so they are always vending there as well too. So there are dedicated spots around that you can get your vegetables and so forth. So, but if you want to get some cologne and thing like that, you gotta come and check the people park up down here.
Bronx said it's 20 plus years now. We should have addressed the problem of vending long time. The government centralizing commerce in Kingston is the problem.
You know that the hindsight is 2020, right? So if this is how we feel, then swift action and hard measures have to be taken. And you can't on one side say that you want the place clean up and you want things to look like an Italian bistro, and then say, but the people need to make a food.
Well, you have to balance it. Compliance with compassion.
Yes.
Compliance with compassion, and you have to have compassion. You have to put your foot in the vendor's shoes as well and see.
But there are. That's what I said. Dedicated places around to decentralize. I didn't say just tell them nothing. I didn't say that, but I say you have to take hard and fast measures. If you always come in late, I had to take a hard and fast measure and say, listen, things are done. If you always selling in a place and I'm telling you not to go there, I've got to take hard and fast measures and say, well, we ain't putting up with this anymore, right? For the good of the country, not just by way of tourism, but the economy in a general sense. Because once you decentralize, every little place gets a little chance to boom and bustle. You could build a strip mall up there doing it. I know you have money.
What are you talking about? A strip where vehicle could drive up and down.
Good morning, Ella. How you doing?
Morning.
Ella was on the menu today.
Tell us what's on the menu.
Come on.
Unemployment is the big problem in SVG. Angela is saying unemployment is a big issue in SVG. You wanna go back to those videos, or I know you have a video to play. That lady, the vending, the female vendor yesterday, she went hard.
She went hard.
Listen
to this man, huh?
And she spoke well. Spoke well. You have her line up? Let's hear her, man. Let's hear her. And folks, we're also trying to get in touch with Lennox Lampkin. We should be speaking to Lennox Lampkin. He's like an agriculturalist, scientist, all in one, and he has a very great concern with regards to the spraying of, you call it Matalian, something to that effect. I remember the exact name, but we would say when the mosquito truck come, and he has something to speak about that. So we're speaking about vending. We want to talk about that. We have a voice note as well, but. Brown said you cannot talk about enhancing the tourism product and have Kingston like a shanty town.
Yeah, son. Yeah. Brown, let me see if I can highlight your you have to highlight these things when you read it to no partners.
Yes.
You have to highlight them. Brown Mike here. Okay, thanks a lot, Brown, for putting in that suggestion. So
we have a voice note. You wanna?
You can. Yeah. You can go ahead. Let's see what's going on with the voice note.
Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning.
I think I understand that this month they're using to celebrate tourism. However, why don't we speak more on this topic of tourism? For example, in Canawan, there's so many yachties in Canawan, and still there is no jetty for the people them to come ashore and spend some money. So let's not neglect the Grenadines and still want to push tourism, because the Grenadines is a force of the tourism industry in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So let's not ignore the Grenadines and pay more attention to the Grenadines. If you say that you are celebrating this month for tourism, spread the wealth all around.
There you go.
Thank you. That's a very important point, because we are in tourism month, and he's saying that the Grenadines have some good tourism product, but we have to look into.
Of course, but I always understood the Grenadines to be the tourism spot. I mean,
tourism,
I almost said Trinidad. SVG is the mainland is more the industrial work and bustle, and when you want to get the real sense of the unspoiled nature of other Grenadines, you had to go to the Grenadine Islands. That's what I'm thinking.
The best. Okay, I don't know if you could load one of the video before we go to just play one of the video at least for persons.
But how you saw? Alright, let me see if I can do that for you.
You could play Dawas, or you could play the Boma.
So I can play Dawas.
See, Dawas had you cracking up yesterday, boy.
Like Dawas is something else. Alright, let me see if I can do this for you. All right, so this is a video of the vendor from yesterday. I think her name is Flo. Is it Flo? Flo was selling eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let me get this up here. Share this bad boy. You seeing things? You sure?
No, not yet. All right.
Seeing things.
No letter, no nothing, no notice.
So there is no direction as to where they have to.
So nobody come and give all direction. Like today we're gonna move this point and go to the market.
They just they are authority.
The Mario. Mary, do you have any question that you are asking?
I know I am meeting them when you're coming back.
So me and my friend was having this discussion the other day, and we were talking about vendors and issue. But you see everybody going into the market, thinking with
okay, but what if there are designated places around this town?
He's asking whether if they have like designated area instead of selling hay, if right, but no, he's asking have designated areas whether people would keep it. No, we understand that, but if they did have an area that this you guys could sell here instead of selling here or something like that, you think we would work with that?
Yes, but it's not.
You hear that, Mario?
Yeah.
And they stop and they saying that they have to buy today.
So Mario, we got here.
Mr. Morgan line, deputy manager line. The deputy one, like all of them, we walk as everybody telling lies. And the thing is that them don't inform the people who collecting money, anything. They do not tell them anything so that they can relate to it. They're not just doing, and it's the same like how we knowing and seeing from Facebook. That's how the workers are them knowing. Like how they knowing.
So we need to connect with the town board, because
we gotta cross them here. What they say.
With the town board.
What about in terms of hay? Do you think that the tongue is congested with vendors or? Right.
Somebody come and pick the one over the tomorrow,
Right.
then collect from me, then collect from them.
Okay.
I mean, regulating nothing.
Right. Mary, you're hearing some important points here.
I hear because
I believe that is my opinion, because I don't know. The closest street to the market should be designated a vending street. The street should be designated a vending street. Whereas don't put up absolutely no vending.
Yeah, we saw that.
No vendor on various sides.
Right, and you could work with that. Yeah.
They should designate the street as a vending street.
You hear that, Mario?
Of course.
The street. They say they want
kind of like they do short
with
street.
everybody paying $5 every day.
Yeah.
Everybody will not pay the $5 because some people don't get things set. And some of them go sell load of money and them still ain't want to pay $5.
Right.
I ain't telling no lie to nobody. Them don't want, and them say they want it for car park. When the vehicle
So they're gonna put there as a car park.
when the vehicle them park, they
That's
ain't
over
collect
the
no
side,
point.
Mario.
No point.
So they're not gonna get it.
And some them always in the red and them collecting money. They make collecting money on the street and them always in the red. Government always have to subsidize with them. And they're making money and they want to get rid of it just people come and park all day. And it will be a disadvantage for people who want to come and buy in the market. Because in the parking lot in the front there, them don't want anybody coming. Have to be them friends. When the people that who walk in Kingston come early and take up the whole parking, who come to buy gang and with the park?
Okay. Well, but just before I go, your authorities seems bent on removing the vendors. And placing most of the vendors in the market up there. Could you see that happening? Do you think more persons would get upset because persons have been selling on the street? And the police would be coming. You don't think that's going to be a problem if that?
It was always a problem. In the first place, under your NDP government, they say no vending on the street and sidewalk. Labor care will stay here. I don't care. I know I will lose plenty customers and plenty. I don't care. I'm talking the truth. The truth.
But you could gain customer and lose customers. Okay.
I know I will lose some customers. Labor care we don't move. Then that is the first person who started it. I tell we don't move.
It's all they don't move.
Yes. When Mike Brown was in power, he said everybody have a certain size of table. We go along with that. Them say $5. We didn't say $5 too much. Then we agree to pay the $5. When Julian Francis in charge, Julian Francis said he gonna give me aluminum tables. Till now nothing never not happened. I know them saying everybody has moved. And they had an agreement. But the only thing is that it's not a signed agreement.
Okay. Wow.
They had an agreement with us. We meet with Mr. Julian Francis and Thursday when they had the conference room.
Right. Maria, so our viewers are hearing.
Yeah.
And she speaks very well.
I'm telling you, like ULP, now the NDP, and I'm going to lose customers and I will gain some customers. And I'm not going to lie for anybody. I'm not even going to tell a lie for my mother. Not even for my mother.
Right, absolutely. So you hear that, Maria? You hear the concern on the ladies' face.
Yes.
I was in the market when the market now open, you know. That's why I don't say, you know. I have to buy and throw it, you know.
Buy and throw it.
Yeah, so that's one vendor there in Kingston. Yeah. You could hear the passion and the emotion in her voice.
Yeah, well, but again, there are facilities made available.
Yeah.
Has it not been made available to her?
Yeah.
So what's the problem? You're getting a designated place. The only thing you're not getting here is your way. And I know really people going to curse me out for that, but
I think person was saying also that it going never be the right time or what.
Yeah, someone was saying that it doesn't matter what time of the year you tell people to move. Yeah. They're going to find, it's either summer, carnival, whatever.
Carlo, welcome to Boom.
Good morning.
Morning,
guys.
Morning.
Yeah. If you give the vendors the way, they go in the middle of the street and sell.
You see what I mean?
And say they have to live.
Yeah.
You understand? But the government needs to create the atmosphere for people to be able to live.
Yeah.
Yes, people have to sell. People grow produce.
Yeah.
They have to sell it.
Right.
Everybody is not made to work in a hardware or supermarket or in a government office or whatever. Right.
Yeah, but there's rules and regulations you have to follow. Everybody just can't do things. It have rules and regulations and laws. No.
Yeah.
You have E.T. Joshua land.
Mm-hmm.
Prime property. You're developing a shopping center. You have a lot of space there. You could build a covered market area.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the parking. But again, we have a government who doesn't really want to provide opportunities for poor people to really make money, because if people make money and get too independent, people can't come and tell them stupidness come election time. The ULP government has been taking out Vincentian spine now for 15 years. The first 5 years was okay, but after that, just taking out Vincentian spine. Come on, they had to sacrifice and build airport. Airport and build. Well, you had to sacrifice now and build port. You had to sacrifice and build everything. When you go and stop build and maintain what you have, and people enjoy a living, you can't be building everything new.
All right.
You have to maintain what you have.
Right.
We didn't need a new port. All we needed is a container park. Create a container park that when the containers come off the ship, they go somewhere and they start there and you deliver from there. We did not need a $200 million port. We don't need that loan. We don't need that expense. We didn't need a $53 million building to have temporary parliament for 40 people. Who benefited? Vincentians? No.
All right, sir. I think you need to put in an application to be an advisor. Yeah. You have real ideas.
The advisors is a little red and running wrong in the head.
You know what? Have a good day, sir.
All right, Carl, thank you very much, man.
We need to get caller ID,
Respect. Oh, jeez.
Boy, good morning to all the folks on the outside locking it on. Of course, you can give us a holler 455-1069. 451-1069 is the number to call us on air.
Phone blowing up, man.
Okay, we just missed that one. Don't forget, we've also got Yui. They should be in the house with us this morning as well. A little after 8, I think. I'm going to get the correct time. But yeah, they should be in with us.
Caller, please call back. Yeah. You should be in with us.
And we've got Dr. not Dr. Richards.
Thomas. We have
Jomo Thomas. That's right.
Yeah,
Counselor.
That's 7:45.
He'll be coming in to give us some plain talk.
Yeah. All right. I haven't seen the caller as yet. So
right. We need to take some ads.
Yeah, let me jump out to some ads. Yeah.
The Mindset, bringing you emotional clarity with therapeutic discussions, illuminating your...
The Opposition Progressive Association invites one and all to their local food line on December 10th, 2022. It's happening at 312 East 93rd Street between Lenox and Clarkson in Brooklyn, New York. On the menu, authentic Vinci cuisines, saltfish, blackfish, stew chicken, souse, breadfruit, doughboy, coconut dumplings, red belly, dukana, and more for only $25. It's all happening December 10th, 2022 from 3 p.m. until. For more information, contact 917-960-7666. It's the Opposition Progressive Association, Vinci Local Food Line.
Of $6,000 in 2023. So, what are you waiting for? Visit any Geku branch nationwide and get in on our Endless Christmas Loan today. It's all for you from Geku in our Endless Christmas Loan promotion.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the...
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
2022 iCode 784 competition grand finale. Dream.
It's award season. The Leave Out Violence in SVG charity, in collaboration with Rise Hiruna, hosts its very first awards fundraiser December 4th at Beachcombers Hotel. Witness the big reveal of the architectural plans of a woman's shelter in SVG. Be mesmerized by steel pan performances, Dynamite, Ngozi, and the stunning ladies of Paragon Modern Management. Tickets $130 EC or $50 US. Support the Leave Out Violence in SVG charity on December 4th as they help to bring positive changes to the lives of women.
Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
Hello, mate. I spun the hard Monday, now your place when the cuss I win the chase, get straight to the pace from a day into the race. Tell him none of them are safe, left a telling now your face. I'm done, done. Fanada plus clansman, but monster, one dance, paint on, man. He like 7 minute walk, and recheck good man for tell them I kick like Van Damme, Birmingham, London, England, Brampton. Listen up, them off the home, I find them from a dirty gun, my dog from a berry. It has paid me a papa when I pill them. God, the way you said, senseless, pan the $1 million job. I still got the young pan the gram from a fan, motor it's smoother than the dance. Feed them up better know our time.
Let's check in with the dot. Plain talk. Plain talk with Julmo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG.
Good morning. Good morning, Mario.
Good morning, my friend.
Shady. Good morning, Fonando.
Good
morning, most of all your listeners, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and who else might be listening. I gotta tell all you are real vex, eh?
Oh gosh.
Really?
A real vex.
Why you vex?
Because I think all too often we confuse and conflate issues.
Okay.
The issue of bending is confused with accosting. I heard the tongue board commissioner say that he wanted to go back to the 70s and 80s when he was not accosted by vendors. I have never been accosted by a vendor. We want to keep the street clean. Whose responsibility it is to keep the street clean? Look, I remember when I used to live in New York and they had Labor Day. The parade ended at 6 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, you had these street cleaners coming up the street. And if you had come down Eastern Parkway at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, it was already clean. It is the municipalities, the state responsibility to clean the street. Albeit, if you are saying that vendors should not throw their things on the ground, and they shouldn't because they could buy a bag and put it in there. But if we are seriously thinking about organizing the town, why don't we have some depot, some
garbage cans.
That vendors can just walk and throw the thing in, so that we don't have it spewing all over the ground. I saw somebody made a very important point about the street and cleanliness. They made a point in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have all the plastic that we have now. When you walk in the streets, the plastic blowing all over the place because people don't even have the consciousness. There's a garbage can here, 5 feet away from them, and they would drop the refuse on the ground instead of just walking to throw it in the can. So we're confusing issues. We are really, really confusing issues. Fonando made an exceptionally important point this morning. He says compliance must go along with compassion. Do you think that people want to come out in the morning and spend all day in the sun? You think they really want to do that? You ever see anybody from the middle class do that? You ever see anybody from the ruling class do that? Because they have the wherewithal to survive. So when these people come out, and when we see a proliferation of vending in Kingston, it is as a direct result of the economic conditions in the country.
Right.
Mario, you're talking about law and order, law and order, law and order, law and order, my foot.
Well, you see what I mean? This is this.
Let me develop the point. Develop the point. Law and order, my foot. Unjust laws must not be obeyed. In fact, one of the prominent justices on the Eastern Caribbean Court of Justice, Peter Jamada, you may know him, Mario. He says that there's rule of law and rule by law.
Right.
Rule of law is what we should be looking for. Rule of law is what Borgin and the state of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is intending to do. Oh, there's a law in the book. We must clean the street. Where the hell were they when they were telling people, when they were looking for political capital, telling people that they must not move? Oh, we saw all of a sudden we are so sanctimonious that, oh, the city is not clean. We need to clean the street. Look, why do you, Mario, or me, have a right to come into Kingston at 6 o'clock and park our car on the sidewalk for 12 hours, and a vendor cannot come and park his vending machine, his box, his piece of cloth? Why can't he or she do that? What make you think that you are better and you are entitled to a place to park on the street, and a vendor doesn't have that right? How do we come with these anti-worker, anti-poor, anti-disadvantaged, anti-vulnerable people in the name of saying that, oh, the city needs to be clean? What is this? How do we come off with that kind of foolishness, that kind of nonsense? Look, I have said time and time again that we don't need what we need. Why can't we consider that area between what used to be PH Vera and the market? Why can't we close that off and say that's for vending? And why can't we, at the end of the day, put the vending stalls on top of the market and bring them down the next morning? Why can't we do that? Why can't we close off the street from Jackson, the police barracks, all the way up to Heritage Square? Why must there always be traffic going through there? Why can't we close it off and have it as a they have these all over the world. All we need is organization. We don't need to chase people off the street. Why can't we? All of the years we were talking foolishness about Heritage Square, Heritage Square. What kind of heritage do we have at Heritage Square? Why can't we spend some money and say we're going to really develop Heritage Square? We're going to bridge the river. We're going to push the things back over next to the National Bank and the Penny Bank. We're going to put some trees in there and make the place real nice. We're going to put some benches there, and we're going to put some kiosks there that allow people to vend and to sell and to make a living. Why can't we organize it in that way? Why do we have to always anti-working class and say, oh, for my convenience, I want the street cleared. I don't want to be in my way.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Look, people are suffering, you know. People are suffering, and those are the things that we have to respond to. Is Kingston only for businesses? Why does a businessman, as we're going to see later on this month and next month, get to put his wares out on the road to sell his linoleum, to sell this, to sell that? Why are they allowed to do it now and a vendor can't do it? Who owns Kingstown? I remember when I used to be in America, we had a slogan, whose street? Our street. The people's street. How the hell does it that the street belong to some business elite, some business class, some tourists, but not to the people who are trying to make a living? And the sad thing about it is to hear Vincentians who only yesterday was so in such a economic deprivation, and we were able to eke out a living, and now we are a little better off, and we are joining in that damn chorus. We want to get rid of poor people off the street. Organize it. Don't get rid of them. Who says that the streets must be free of vending? Look, you go to Atlanta, you go to Miami, you go to Vienna, you go to Brussels, and you know what they do? The rich restaurateurs put their tables on the street. And the punks that we are, we sit down on the street in New York or Vancouver, wherever they are, and we send pictures back to our friends. Oh, happy dining, sophisticated dining, luxurious dining, but it's on the street. But you know why we don't care about it? Because rich people are doing it.
No, man. You see, you keep bringing back that narrative about it's only
I
rich
can't help
people,
bringing it back
etc.,
because it is the
etc.
truth.
But no, Jomo. Even you said that what's that? Compliance have to have compassion. But when there's stuff to comply to, who is complying to it? You
But
even
I
said
think you're missing my. I
that
think you are missing
you
my
even
point.
said that sometimes people don't even walk 2 feet to throw anything into the garbage because they hold it on because they just drop it onto the
Mario,
floor.
in
Hang on
Singapore,
for a
right?
second, sir.
In Singapore,
Even
Mario,
Fonando said
Mario,
yesterday showed us that
Mario,
someone just went
compliance is a
right
different
back.
thing. In Singapore,
Oh,
if you
God.
spit on the street or if you litter on the street or in other countries across the world, there are serious penalties for that. But I'm saying,
so you have to
I am
look at the
saying
mentality of people here
the
as well.
the penalties as to anti-working people, anti-poor, anti-vulnerable.
You keep saying that, but isn't there a designated area now for them to go into?
Listen to me.
Listen, I'm
Mario.
listening. Yeah.
Mario,
I'm
when you
listening.
finish today, right? When
Yeah.
you finish today, I want you to go into the designated areas because I have been. In the first place, the storage areas are too small. So there's hardly likely that any of those vendors who you're seeing on the street, at the end of the day, their things can be stored there properly. Because they want to map, instead of having, when they're in a building, instead of having 100 stalls, they have 170 stalls. So the area is too small, and where you're gonna store the things, and then they're gonna tell the people, as we heard Morgan say a few weeks ago, you have to clear the aisles, so you can't tie up your things around your little stall. Go and see it for yourself, and don't just talk about because you have to see it to know it. You have to see it to know it.
Fired up today. Fired up.
But tell me, in a practical sense, why can't we close off that piece of road that comes up from the fish market to NCD Bank and say that's for vending? Why can't we close off the middle street from the police barracks up to Heritage Square and say that's for vending? Why can't we close off that piece of street that we call Heritage Square and say that's for vending and organize it nicely so that the same tourists you're talking about, if we close it off and we put in some benches there, we plant some trees there and so on, they can come and hang out right there instead of it just being a bare piece of road. All we have to do is to plan and to organize and to think. This whole thing about these administrative means of solving problems, and which comes with force, which comes with destruction. It's look, I'll tell you all this, huh? Those who disregard the force of the wind shall inherit the whirlwind. That's my take for this morning.
Wow, that's
Fired up in here.
Boy.
All right, now we got
we have
4
so
more
much
minutes.
comments.
All right, let's read some comments and let's interact with Jomo today. We are disagreeing vehemently right now. I know that
Let me take a phone call first.
Okay, good morning, you're live on Boom.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you this morning once more.
Morris, what is this?
I keep saying this. With the vendors are not, and I underscore, no vendor in Kingston is responsible for the untidiness or state of Kingston. Clearly, so we should get that out of the way. The other thing is, Mario, you keep talking about laws and regulations. Right. You can identify a single piece of vending legislation for me.
Right.
And rules for vending in Kingston. Now, the thing is, we have some administrators who sit in ivory towers, and every Monday morning they come up with something to say they are doing something. Now, you just picture this for a moment. You are squatting. somewhere with your family. You have been there for years. Nobody tell you anything about regulations and what you should do at and that kind of thing. All of a sudden, tomorrow morning you get a letter or a telephone call and say, within 2 days, you have to move from here without any dialogue, without giving you any chance to prepare yourself, or without, making alternative arrangements and so on. Just picture that for a moment. I'm coming back with the vending. The last thing that was said about rearranging Kingstown and beautifying Kingstown. If you only knew Tokyo when Tokyo opened, that is exactly what happened in Tokyo. You had order. You didn't have a host of rum shops in Tokyo. You probably had 1 or 2 bars. You had a number of little cottage, a number of those little kiosks. Somebody was doing sweets. Another person might have been doing something else. But you had a variety. You had greenery. People gone out at the seawall and enjoy the sunset. But let me tell you, over time, the government has allowed that place, and senior public servants have allowed that place to be overrun, lolly, and you're telling me that the vendors are responsible for it? They're not responsible. We allowed over time these things to happen, and now you cannot simply go and just raise up the people from there, and you're telling me about going designated places. If you have 500 vendors on the street, we should have allowed 500 to come on the street in the first place. When we see it, we should have been trying to regulate. And there is nothing that says between Monday to Friday or whatever, you can say you close off a particular street and we use that for vending. Who say you have to be driving through there with your vehicle? Kingston's a small town.
Right, but Carla, you could see that happening from Monday to Friday, or do you think that should be happening on the weekend?
The thing is, all you need to
and
do
Council
is
need you to answer that
and plan carefully, have the number of stakeholders, because they too should have a say in terms of how they can see the thing develop. But we don't do that. We think that we can sit down in an ivory tower and make decisions for everybody else. And that is our big problem. That's my contribution.
Thanks very much, man. Well said.
Awesome.
Councillor, what about you? Do you see designated area being put in place throughout the week or just on the weekends?
Permanent designated areas, as I said. We can close off that area between the market and what used to be PH Vera and Bonadi. We can close it off and have it as a vending area permanently. And at the end of the day, put the crates and the shacks, whatever we want to call them, up on top of the market. I don't know if you all ever went up there. There's a lot of space up there to put, which is unused, and bring it down each day. We can close that middle street. Look, why can't that be done? Why must we say that people who are these people are, as I made the point before, these people are not coming in because they want to come in, This is not a pastime, This is not a lime for them. This is livelihood. It's not a lime, Mario. It's not a lime, Fonando. It's livelihood.
Yeah. Yes. Wow.
So, what changes to make them all of a sudden obey the designated areas? Because as Fonando
which designated areas?
Yesterday, hang on. If they put designated areas, anyways, because as Fonando so aptly put yesterday, that's how the people are, or that's to be expected when they just do away with following regulation. For example, they were supposed to not be on the sidewalk yesterday. Some of them moved to right in the street, right? And somebody just came right back onto the sidewalk and did his vending, right? They defaced the no vending sign, and this was to be expected. You said, for them.
This sidewalk belong to whom? This sidewalk belong to the business persons or the people?
Right.
Yeah. Carla,
who does the sidewalk belong to?
Just hold for me. Is it Councillor speaking or the caller?
No, I am speaking. Who does the sidewalk belong to?
Yeah, we should ask town board that. Hang on for
Well,
a
ask them, because how does a business person say? I mean, this thing is so pro business focused that it boggles my mind that $1 million business would try to deprive a person who has an asset of about $500 trying to turn their hand. That just boggles my mind.
It boggles my mind that street vendors outlasted PH Vera. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
You really think
Hold the thought.
There you go, hit him back. Hey, Carla, welcome to Boom.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Well, I hope they ain't putting so much pressure on my party because I talk to Mr. Shady and I hear a lot of politics and this thing. And both parties want this thing to clean up and some need cleaning up. So I hope they ain't putting so much pressure on Mr. Shady right there and put on Mr. Houston. And Mr. Shady is a nice gentleman to take over the next election. So I understand the amount of politics that they're putting in now, because when Mr. Shady take over, he must need the place clean up and both parties need the place clean up. What about Mr. Dwight Joseph? I'm hearing him. He's a national journalist man and radio. Where he at? I'm hearing Mr. Dwight Joseph.
I think Mario always answer that question.
Yeah, really.
Mario,
yes, sir.
Mario take over from the White Mario somewhere international. Naturally, Mario come a long way.
Yeah. So Carla, you had a So you had a question for council?
You understand? Both government, both parties need to speak up and this. When does it start speaking out how it plays up? When does it start by speaking to vendors? So I understand the way some of the politics coming into like when the NDP gets in, have to clean up the place and the NDP don't like it.
No, well, I think some vendor was mentioning that
I don't know for you all, but that is not coming through clear at all.
Huh?
At least I'm not hearing what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not hearing. All right, Carl. Sorry about that. I think we were having some issue with the clarity.
Issues hearing it.
But I think he was talking about politics involving the situation.
No, but you see, that's the thing. I am not here talking politics.
Yeah. You just.
I am not talking politics.
I haven't heard anything political.
I am not here talking politics.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to some comments because we have a lot of comments.
We also need to take a top of the hour idea, and we've got Yui coming in a little bit. You see what's going on here, Jomo? You make it fiery here this morning. All right, keep it locked up. We come back with Plain Talk right after this.
All right, Shady.
We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
Me say action movie. You don't know it go. Boom, 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 boom.
Home 1069.
We doing what we want to do. 'Cause we have one life to live. One life to live. We have one life to live. And no stress to give. We have one life to live. One life to live. We have one life to live. La, you see this, yeah? I go eat what I want, I go drink what I want to go. There's no stopping way. Oh no, there's no stopping way. If you have bad vibes, then move out of my way. Have no time for that. Nah, it's a video that I take. A whole 2 years so we waiting. We free to get some bad again. Nobody can stop we, can't stop we at all. We stepping outside early as it was like gold. We have one life to live. One life to live. We have one life to live. And no stress to give. We have one life to live. One life to live. We have one life to live. La, you see this, yeah? Don't tell me I can't do that. Do anything that we want and nothing holding me back. Nothing. If I want to win, then yeah, I'll do that. If I want to fit with you, I'll do that. Had no time to play. We machine up every way. A whole 2 years so we waiting. We free to get some bad again. Nobody can stop me, can't stop me at all. So if you don't say that, you must. We have one life to live. One life to live. We have one life to live.
Oh my goodness, man! It's OMG! Oh my God! In the morning, and we have Council here.
Yes,
Council is
man.
fired up.
That's right. That's right.
I
That's
see,
right.
I see you get a lot of support here, and also some backlash. I see you getting some backlash, but a lot of support. You want to read any at the moment, Mario? You want to read any at the moment?
So it's Mario in his own little world. He doesn't even know the price for eggs.
Oh, geez,
It's true, huh?
I didn't know he was gonna, I didn't know he was gonna read that one.
He said, we're hiding our problems. Truman says we're hiding our problems instead of truly finding a solution. The tourist will actually prefer seeing vendors outdoors than in a market. It just needs proper organization.
What do you think about that, Council? Think the tourists would prefer to see the vendors out there, in an open space?
Listen. My primary concern is for organization of Vincentians. To the extent that organization aids a tourist, that's good. My primary concern is not for no tourists. It's for the health and safety and livelihood of Vincentians. This foreign-centric notion of development and optics is beyond me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I don't want to do anything. If I'm in government, if I organize in policy, I'm not doing it for no tourists. As we saw with COVID, that tourist product is so fickle that the least thing happened, it's gone.
No.
So we have to do this for our people. We have to organize our society to ensure that our people can survive and thrive, not for no tourists.
Right.
Right, but I think he's saying that in essence he's advocating for the vendors to be in an open space because it sort of gives the tourists a feel of the
But
island.
listen, tell me, what is intrinsically wrong with us saying that there can only be 3 vendors on the National Commercial, the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines down here next to the market? What is intrinsically wrong with that? Why must there be no vendor? What is intrinsically wrong to say that there could be 1 vendor in front of People's Pharmacy? What is intrinsically wrong with that? What is wrong with saying that there can be 2 vendors on each side of Graves Supermarket? What is wrong with that? What? Tell me what? What is wrong? Why must it be that these people who are trying to make ends meet, what be this organization, not oppression, not suppression?
Okay, so I think someone is asking, are the vendors paying to have the walls of the business repainted after they turn them into filth?
That's government responsibility. Look, it is government responsibility to clean the street. This notion that vendors, if the vendors leave their stalls there, and tomorrow morning they come and it's not there, and then somebody says, it's on top of the market.
Carla, hold for me, please. The council's making.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Okay. Carla, welcome to Boom.
Morning, Mr. Thomas.
Good morning, sir.
How are you going to choose the 3 vendors to be on the demand?
That's the question I was going to ask. Huh?
All right, we can have a lottery. We can put the name in a bag. We can put the name in a bag, and who comes out.
Then they will say it was
They will say it was rigged. They will say it was rigged. Well, let them say it was rigged, but at least you try to have a democratic process.
Fair market and charge people to sell in the market. You cannot allow no vending on the street. Full stop. It is whatever the word is intrinsically wrong in every letter of the word. Intrinsically.
So, Councillor, you can see designated areas around Kingston for vendors to sell. Councillor got the pause to get upset, boy. But this is the thing, Mario, because we had that discussion before.
I don't have a problem with that view, because I don't think that there's anything so noble and special about my view. That caller has a view, and let's all put that up in the marketplace of ideas and see where it comes out. He says that vendors is intrinsically wrong, and I was asking what was intrinsically wrong in having a vendor here, there, and so on. But if he thinks it's intrinsically wrong, that and I'm sure where he lives in, they have vendors.
No. Oh gosh, I wish we had some more time, my friend. We've got
Mario
coming in 2 minutes.
Mario,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have to go because I have a matter in court at
Right.
8:30. So until we meet again, yeah? Take
Yes,
care.
sir. Looking forward to it tomorrow, buddy.
We needed more time on this.
I actually got derailed, you know. I had something else completely different, and then I had Fonando talking about this piece on SVG Times, so I immediately went and looked for it.
Yeah.
And oh, my friend Bogan, I can't believe
Morgan said,
I can't believe
that the vendors would have to
doing other people's dirty work. That's what he's doing.
All right, sir. Looking
you
forward
very
to it tomorrow, my friend. Until we meet again.
Oh my goodness. Comsto is so fired up today, man.
I like it. It's a nice exchange of ideas. And I know people say that I don't know the price of eggs, huh?
Yeah,
but you can't blame me for that because every vendor I go, depending on how they interpret my accent and my color, charge me a different price. But it's true. It is true.
Well, you need to walk with a Fonando or Shady with it.
So you can't tell me that I wrong for not knowing the price when 5 vendors charge me 5 different prices.
I'm sorry, Council wasn't here, but I heard someone said all the vendors should take their stall by the councillor home and see how he feels. Somebody was saying a similar thing. Somebody said, who is it that said we will make this country ungovernable? Are we not experiencing that?
Yeah. And again, you have told me in no uncertain terms that the attitude of the Vincentian is steeped in revolution. So how is it that now they're just gonna obey the rules put down? Tell me.
I don't know. You have to tell me.
So, you don't know.
But that is saying it would not. I would not say squatting. I would say renting because every day the landlord go buy and collect the $5 rent. That is the situation there with tongue board. How much money do you think the tongue board collects daily from the vendor? That's Nyla asking.
Oh gosh.
Fred said, Jomo, who will put the stalls? In
the market.
He would put his stalls in the area.
You really seeing them putting it up there and bringing it down every day?
Sharma said half of the Vincentian population chooses politics over livelihood. Preston said designated areas will come with rules. Failure to comply will be consequences. Nyla again said, I agree with cleaning up the Kingston. However, I do not agree with the process they are implementing. Communication and understanding lacks tremendously in SVG, resulting into chaos.
Right.
Sharma was saying she wasn't hearing the caller. Buck said, cleanup doesn't mean eradicating vendors off the street. Very good point. The vendors just need to make their stalls more presentable.
Yeah.
Fair point. Delbert said the whole situation is political in the minds of the people, and that's the problem. One more, I think it's style. They said every time you talk truth, the bright people always thinking you talking politics. Country before everything else. And Latoya, I know Latoya, she said, it's the government fault that them tell vendors they can sell outside. So she's asking. And when anybody come on the road to sell them, not tell them nothing them. Oh, she's saying, is the government fault them tell them vendors they sell
they
outside? And when anybody come on the street to sell, them not tell them nothing, them taking the $5. So we're stressing people for now. I don't know. So she's saying that when persons go out and sell, instead of the tongue boat tell them they cannot sell, they are taking the money. The money is from them. So that encourages the vendor. And we also heard that a vendor was saying the same thing, that somebody come and just show up a stand here and then they collect money.
But listen, it was also supposed to be $5 one table. Somebody had 5 tables and although you say 3.
That's $25.
Five tables.
So that's $25.
But what I'm saying is they're supposed to only have one table. One turned into 5.
No, I don't know if it's one table. It's $5 a table. I don't know if they tell it. I'm assuming that you can have more table than one.
So what's that, Jomo? What do you think about the stench?
The scent, yeah?
Yeah. I need nastiness, dilapidated conditions that the vendors keep Kingston. As you are not, Jomo, more than anybody else, I believe Kingston is the capital in the Western Hemisphere. What? Kingston is the Western capital. What? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
So it is really interesting.
gosh.
But folks, do you see vending in Kingston on the streets stopping anytime soon? Could you see that happening? And that's a conversation me and Mary was having.
Well,
Because
you see,
I am
yeah.
telling you, you see, I told you, I didn't tell you anything wrong. You know, this day in, day out, I come and I tell you certain things. You might not agree with me, but you see what I'm saying is actually,
I'm sorry that I am accustomed to a bit of rules, and I'm looking at things logically. Yeah. But again, beat up. People say I don't even know how much for egg. But I know how much for egg, right?
Egg,
I get a dozen for like $7.
No, you can't
You
get
see what I mean?
You got about $10 around there. You wouldn't get a dozen for anybody sell you a dozen for $10. They undercharging you. And
you
a
see what I
dozen
mean?
for $7, they undercharging you. So they actually probably helping you out, and you don't even realize that. We have a caller.
Hey, good morning. You're live on Boom.
Hey, good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
man.
Fonando.
Hey.
Fonando.
Yes, I.
DJ Shady, who continues to be the baddest DJ.
I gave me visa just a minute, so you can link up.
Marlon.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Marlon.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, here's what I have gathered so far from the conversation, the ongoing conversation. Now, the intentions, by and large, when they look at the vendors, they don't see their equals. You know? They don't see their mammies and their grannies in the faces of these vendors. They see people who they believe are beneath them. And therefore, the effort of the vendors, of these mammies, of these our intention sisters, mostly because they're mostly women, are not respected. That's one of the main issues. Okay? Because when they speak about treating up Kingston, they talk as if the vendors themselves are a nuisance, as if the vendors are garbage, as if the vendors are litter. You know, seeing these people as eking out an existence. You know, they are in survival mode. They are operating legitimate businesses because in most instances, as we've heard repeatedly, they have to pay tongue board, whether it's $5 a day, whatever they amount to, so that they could ply their trades. Okay? Now, of course, I understand that people would want some structure, some order, and so on. And I agree with that. But I think we need to interject a lot more compassion, a lot more understanding, a lot more empathy in the conversation. Okay? Instead of, the relative way in which we refer to these people who, from among them, would emerge one day and have emerged over the years.
Right.
Medium to big business people.
Yes.
The same people like P.H. Vera and the Bonadis,
Right.
who we like to celebrate, and the OTs and so on. Started small, you know. That's how it starts.
Right. Yes.
There isn't anyone, unless you inherit it from your parents. And in any event, your parents would have started from somewhere. You start small.
Yeah.
That's how you start. You know, but we like a good story. We like to say this person has done so well. You know, but we do not even understand, we do not fathom the amount of sacrifice that goes into becoming successful. You know, instead of looking at these people as nuisances, we ought to look at them as part of the solution, because that's what they are.
Right.
They are providing jobs for themselves. It's not easy to rise early in the morning, to pack your produce, to get a van, to go to town, and to be in a competitive area with hundreds of other vendors trying to sell something so you could return home later that evening, prepare a meal for your families. Most of these people, you know, that is exactly what they're doing. You know, they're trying to put food on the table. They're trying to buy books so that their children can go to school, and so on and so forth. They're trying to buy cylinder gas. They're trying to keep the lights on. You know, that's what they're doing. We have to begin to see it as people instead of seeing them as nuisances.
Okay.
You know, because I'm dismayed repeatedly by how we refer to these mummies and to these grannies and to these our sisters and our brothers, because we have men among them, and so on and so forth. And that's all they depend on. They're not some insignificant. They're not some insignificant person to be swatted away as you would swat away a fly or a mosquito. That's my problem. That's my problem.
But Marlon,
that's my problem.
I hear all of that.
All of us, we come across as elitists. That's how we come across. That's I see the talk on Facebook and come across elitists. But the like a good success story. I saw a news report coming out because vending happens throughout the world. Throughout the world.
It does.
You know?
But it's organized though, Marlon. I mean, you can attest to this, and I don't think that well, I hope no one is getting the impression that I am against vending, and as elitist as I may come across, all I'm saying is it needs to be in an organized fashion, the same way that Jomo spoke about people in New York having the Labor Day parade, and bet your bottom dollar that at 6 o'clock everything was cleaned up and shut down. You know what I mean? So we just have to organize it.
And I agree with that.
Yes.
And I agree that it should be organized and it should be properly structured and so on and so forth. You're taking people's money and therefore they have a right. And apart from that, even if you were not taking their money, all of us have a human right to economic pursuit. You have a human right to work. You have a human right to live.
We have 30 seconds,
a prosperous state.
Right.
That's my point. So I want to say on this day, 15th of November 2022, I continue to stand with the vendors. These my brothers and these my sisters. And they come from the bellies. They come from the bellies of those who resisted all forms of oppression, including slavery.
Thank you.
That's what they're doing.
Thank you very much.
Paving the way, scratching and they're scraping so that they can rise.
Marlon, quickly before you go, standing with your vendors for what exactly?
What?
Yeah.
For the legitimate, for the right, for peace of the pie, so that they could feed their children, so that they could put roofs over their heads.
But what does that have to do with going into a non-designated area? Or, I am not, trivializing the amount of work it takes to get produce from the ground and all of that.
Here's what. Because I started off by saying that we don't seem to respect these people. We don't seem to respect their efforts. The first thing we have to do is respect what they're doing. Is to appreciate what they're doing. To understand that this is their bread and butter. Literally, their bread and butter. And then from that point, I will start and say, okay, how best could we enable them to operate in a better environment, more organized environment, instead of simply disparaging them and say let them move there and say they're nasty and all sort of things. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, buddy. I hear you. All right, man. Marlon's always dropping in on us, and dropping some science on us too. 455-1069, 451-1069. That's the number to call.
I see a comment here. This also does.
Hang on for 1 second with that comment. We should have UE Open Campus coming in. They're running a little bit late. I guess it's because of the rain and stuff like that. But we hope that we can get them in because our time is also running out and we've got a packed show. All right. So Sorry, go ahead and read your comments, sir.
Yeah, I saw a comment here. This person does be hitting me too, but I didn't get to read them yesterday. But they're saying Mario, SVG spinning top in mud with this vending issue. Everybody have their take on the issue. Jomo Days to close off several streets. Jomo Days close off several streets in small cities.
Jomo's ideas, I think, is
probably. I think they made a mistake there. In small city where traffic is already tight, an easy solution is for a delegation to visit nearby St. Lucia and see how street vending is done. John Compton in an election year moved the vendors from squatting everywhere over the city and placed them in designated areas. Stipulated standard for tents, umbrellas, stands, and they are beautiful. Local and tourists go to the market restaurant to eat. In the same election year, the government almost sweeps the poll. We have a caller here. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, let's do it, and then we'll do some ads. Good morning, Alive and Boom.
Good morning. The council was saying put 2 vendors outside here, put 1 vendors out there, put 3 vendors outside the street. That might cause some problem, you know. Who gets to have that spot?
Exactly. Who gets to
decide? We're gonna do a raffle?
Yeah. Well, that's what he was saying. Do it fair like that, but
people gonna say preferential treatment, and there'll be all kind of confusion there.
Exactly.
Then you're gonna say, okay, maybe ULP supporters get those spots and all that thing. It's gonna be a lot of problem with that.
Yeah.
All right, have a good day.
Thanks very much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the same point that I made a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Anytime you say one can go and some can, and yeah, people are gonna say you what?
Randy said, based on the question, if he could, what I asked if he could see the vendors coming off the street.
Yeah.
Randy said, Fernando, do you see poverty ending tomorrow? Your question about vending ending. Fuzzy said, Fonando vending will never stop in the capital. The government is trying to improve the situation for everyone. It provides 2 additional facilities to facilitate the vendors. So let's work with the process and see what's the outcome. We can't be saying the town needs cleaning up, and on the other hand, not in favor of having the vendors in a clean and presentable market.
You're live on Boom. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mario, Shady.
Yes.
Flamingo.
Flamingo, move aside.
Yeah, this is Fitzbamble here.
Hey! Now we're in some problems. Hang on, let me just put Fitz Bramble on the phone here so that people know who we're talking about.
Jeez,
go ahead, Mr. Bramble.
Well, I am not going to say much now,
Right.
because I am going to look for an opportunity to spend some time to really delve into the issue. It's a serious issue, obviously. But what I will say, I just want to throw out something as food for thought, and I will come back and at a later time.
Great.
Probably if Fernando invite me on, but it's all right. I'm telling him. Anyway, listen.
Yes.
Listen. This whole vending issue is nothing more than a political issue.
Wow.
And here's the root. Here's the genesis of what I'm saying. I'm gonna ask a question. Why is it okay? Up to Saturday, I drove to Georgetown, and between Kingston and Georgetown, I've seen vendors in almost every village in every area. Why is it okay for somebody to vend in Bayaboo or Stubbs or wherever, but not in Kingston? That is my question, and I that is just food for thought. I will come back on another occasion and get into it in more detail. Have a good morning, gentlemen.
Before you go, right?
Yes.
Just a bit of information I wanted in terms of the announcement by former MP Patel Matthews that he would not be contesting general election. What just to give us a brief idea of your thoughts and did you in essence get to speak to Mr. Matthews?
No, we haven't spoken personally as yet. But what I will say is that I want to personally, publicly, I haven't had a chance to, I wish I had a chance to talk to him before. But then since he put me on this spot, I want to publicly thank Patel for his years of service as a parliamentarian and as a representative. I think for the 10 years where he represented the constituency of North Leeward, he did, his representation was exemplary. And I am thankful to him for representing as an NDP representative. I think he has done the party very well. I think he has done his constituents very well and the country very, very well. Unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to be a government minister, but that is still possible. I mean, anything is possible. He can be brought back as a senator, what have you, when the time comes. I don't know because I don't make those determinations single-handedly. But I would like to thank him for his service, and I think I think his decision to not run again shows forward thinking, a forward thinking approach. You know, he lost the last election. Well, arguably, we're not going to get into that. But in his mind, he thinks it's time for him to hang it up as a competitive politician, and he has pledged his support to whoever is going to replace him. And I think that speaks volume for the character of the man and for his vision for this country. So I think I think it's all good.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank
much
you
for
very
your
much,
take
man.
on that,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Brown.
All right, man. You guys
All right.
take care.
See you soon in studio.
All right.
All right, buddy. That's how it is. Everybody weighing in on the issues. We've got the UE Open Campus on the outside.
Folks, the phone is blowing up, but we cannot take the call. We have to jump out for some ads, Mario.
That's right.
Because I think we have some ads here lined up.
Yeah, and we've got Chantel and the crew outside.
Chantel, Ellis, and breakfast.
Yeah, oh God. We need some food. We need some food.
Let's talk insurance first.
Company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service.
The Opposition Progressive Association invites one and all to their local food line on December 10th, 2022. It's happening at 312 East 93rd Street between Lenox and Clarkson in Brooklyn, New York. On the menu, authentic Vincy cuisines, saltfish, blackfish, stew chicken, souse, breadfruit, doughboy, coconut dumplings, red belly, dukkana, and more for only $25. It's all happening December 10th, 2022 from 3 p.m. until. For more information, contact 917-960-7666. It's the Opposition Progressive Association, Vincy Local Food Line.
In good working condition and cash out instantly. We buy, sell, and trade from gold watches, cars, and more. Need cash for goods.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
The Opposition Progressive Association invites one and all to their local food line on December 10th, 2022. It's happening at 312 East 93rd Street between Lenox and Clarkson in Brooklyn, New York. On the menu, authentic Vincy cuisines, saltfish, blackfish, stew chicken, souse, breadfruit, doughboy, coconut dumplings, red belly, dukkana, and more for only $25. It's all happening December 10th, 2022 from 3 p.m. until. For more information, contact 917-960-7666. It's the Opposition Progressive Association, Vincy Local Food Line.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Boom 1069.
Cherish all your friends and family and welcome this brand new day. Give thanks for life every day is a blessing. When times get hard, don't worry me, no stressing. Still remember the friends that were past and gone. Not give up, still holding on, still holding on. Every day is a blessing. Oh, I'm giving thanks and praise for another day of life. Yeah. I pray for my brothers and my sisters.
Hey, you're listening to OMG in the morning. And DJ Shady is here, Mario is here, me, Fonando, yours truly. And we have coming up the representative from the University of the West Indies Open Campus to let you know what is going down there at UWE Open Campus.
Every day is a blessing. It's a blessing. When times get hard, don't worry me, no stressing.
Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can break my vibes. I may not care who I fight, I know I criticize. I'm on the higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to. It's no concern to me. Because I have my own vision, me dip on my own mission to rule my destiny. Oh, it's my day to do what the fuck I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine.
Hey, we are seeing the phones line blowing up. We're just asking you to call back after this interview with the representative from the UWE Open Campus. Please call back. We're just setting up to get that person in. Okay, thank you.
My feet on the right road, yes. Searching for a better day. Hey. A new day has come. Making way for the brighter tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. See the rising sun. Dry away your tears and your sorrows, yeah. It's not over till it's over. Yeah. The struggle goes on, yeah. We seek no crumbs from the slave master stable. Yeah, it's our redemption now. I'm searching for a better way. I'm searching for a brighter day. Trying to keep my feet on the right road, yeah. Searching for a better day. Yeah.
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
The nation's number one trending, Boom 1069 FM. I'm going to let you know what's going on with the Opposition Progressive Association. They give you a Vinci Food Lime on December 10th, 2022. The venue is 312 East 93rd Street between Lenox and Clarkson in Brooklyn, New York. On the menu, salt fish, blackfish, fish, stew chicken, sauce, breadfruit, doughboy, banana, coconut dumpling, red belly.
Dukuna.
That's right, Dukuna. And much, much more. The price per ticket is $25. Let me just discount and think. Start eating your food from 3 p.m. until. Don't miss this big Vinci Eat Out on December 10th at 312 East 93rd Street between Lenox and Clarkson in Brooklyn, New York. 917-960-7666 is the number to call for more information, all right? That's 917-960-7666. And I got to see what's going with KCCU. KCCU says it's like Santa come early. Well, I could disappear too. Yeah. like you brought it early this year. Plan and enjoy this Christmas season with KCCU Cash Mask. Get up to $20,000. That's right, $20,000 this Christmas season with our Christmas loan Cash Mask. A loan designed with a super low interest rate of 9% with absolutely no payment till January 2023. New member? No problem. Same day approval goes to you. Call 457-2409 and visit KCCU Limited at Granby Street, Kingstown today and have yourself a Merry Cashmas. KCCU terms and conditions apply. Gotta let you know what's going on with Woodsy though, because Woodsy have things. He have real things. Woodsy's got throwbacks happening on November 19th. It's a throwback comedy session. Eat your belly full, laugh your belly full at Woodsy's in New York. You got A.G. White, known from Puff Daddy and the Bad Boys of Comedy, Showtime at the Apollo and BET Comic View. Stephanie K of BET Comic View and Caroline's Comedy Club will be in the house as well with voice DJs Hales Castillo. It happens at Woodsy on November 19th, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11212. Cover charge $20. Doors open at 8 p.m.
For sure, for
All
sure.
All right.
Yep, let me set it up. Let me set it
up.
Hey, we've been talking about a lot of things today. We've been talking about the market vendors.
Right.
What else we've been talking about, man?
We've been talking about Jomo Vex with things.
And now we're about to talk education. Education. So remember, if you have someone out there who needs to further their education, and I am here in studio too. I have to further mine. The right person is in studio if you don't want to travel out, if you don't want to go anywhere. You have your child to maintain. You have your job to go to.
Right.
The right person is in here to talk to you guys, folks. We have in the house the head of the UE Open Campus.
Yes.
Deborah Dirimplo. Ms. Dirimplo.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I don't think I need to say anymore. You said it already.
Hey, Ms. Dirimplo, how are you doing today?
Good morning.
You're good.
Happy to be here as usual.
Happy to have you.
First of all, before you start, because I know you have a lot to unpack like Pastor. How is the new facility? I know you guys would have upgraded and moving. Just give me a little piece of what is that like?
Oh my goodness. It is just absolutely wonderful to be back in your own space. Not only that in terms of homecoming, but the fact that we are expanded, there's a lot more space. There's therefore the opportunity for more programs. We are hoping that we can do some day programs so that the place is kept alive and being used in addition to our usual evening programs, which we've already started back. Because as you know, with COVID, everything went online, whether it's a local program, whether it's a short course, everything was online. But now we are hoping to start have the place come alive with what it's supposed to do to build our community, really, when it comes right down to it, to build our community and as we like to say, empower our community. So
there you go.
We've started that. We started one of our day programs in the afternoons, and we're hoping that we can do something during the day as well as evenings, as well as to continue our online. So maybe a hybrid kind of a approach. But so it's a lot we're trying to do at the same time.
It is a lot.
But it is just great to be back there and to identify with that spot as the UWI Open Campus.
That is awesome, man.
That is awesome.
And as Fernando mentioned, this is education you can do on your time. So you can basically customize how you need your workflow to go so that you can achieve the results. And so you can give us a little bit more about that.
Right. You see, the whole point of the Open Campus is, as you know, there's Mona, St. Augustine.
Right.
Now we have 5 islands. Cave Hill.
Right.
But the Open Campus was designed so that for the very people that you both mentioned, people who want to further their education but cannot afford either time or money to leave, pack up and go to one of the landed campuses or any other university.
Right.
So the Open Campus was designed so that such a person can have a tertiary education. Or it might be a certificate course, it might be a diploma, your undergrad, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and we do offer some doctorates as well.
Okay.
So you can start wherever you are. If you figure you only have a few O levels, I say to people still apply because the Open Campus is designed for that type of person as well. Not just the the bubbly, energetic young people coming straight out of college and wants to go to university, but those persons who perhaps for whatever reason couldn't go at that point, or they're now maybe in their 30s, even 40s, and they figure, I missed out on that education, I'm working, but I still want to do something, not just for me, but also for job opportunity, for promotion and so on. But a lot of times, a lot of our folks come back because something that they always wanted to do, and this is the opportunity to do it. So it's really designed so that you can do it, like you rightly said, at your own pace, because, you go to university, a 3-year degree, 4-year degree. Here you can take up to 5 years to do your bachelor's degree. 1 year, you might decide, I want to do 2 courses, semester 1, 2 semester 2. Semester 2 rolls around, you realize, hey man, I can only afford to do 1. Or my child is now sick, or I have to take daddy somewhere. I can only do 1, do or none. You can write and say, can I be deferred for this semester? Because it's designed for that working adult, that person who has other opportunities, car payments, mortgage, and you sometimes have to pace yourself. And the good thing about it is that you pay as you go. I mean, you're going to take two courses this semester, you pay for the 2 courses. You want to take 1, you pay for 1. And, and also everything is done to facilitate that person to come back to school, because if you then need a payment plan, you can pay for your course in 3 segments. So it's really designed to have people come, and at the end of it, you have a degree or a certificate, because you might start at the certificate level, and then you ladder up from there. You ladder up. So I just to finish this, someone came to my office the other day and she said, Debbie, I have done my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, and my doctorate all at the open campus at the St. Vincent site. That's amazing. I know. I'm telling her we need to put a picture up.
Yeah, she needs to do a testimonial.
That's right. So it's there, and even sometimes people would say they don't have enough O levels. No, if you don't have English or you don't have math, you might be deterred. Okay, I don't have English, and the English and math core. And we said no, you can still come, because there's a course that says improving your math skills, which you can do again at your pace. So and there's also the English for the ELPT, the English Language Proficiency Test that you can do, and that we will accept as the equivalent to the math and English.
So if you have 5 subjects but you don't have maths and English, you can.
Oh yes, of course, come right ahead. And because we meet you where you are. That's the whole point of the open campus. So if that's what you need, but we're saying the fact that you don't have math and English, do not let that deter you from coming. People are saying, I want to do a course, but I have to do maths, I'm afraid to do maths. Come and take the improving your math skills course, and you'll find that just take your time. We're also scared of math, but really it's possible.
But I find it interesting that not just this concept, but you guys are there to help persons navigate that as well.
That is one of our selling points. I said to people, you could go on. Everything is online. I hesitate to say some of the things that are online, but everything is online. But the difference is with the open campus that we are here as well. There's a physical place you can come and people you can speak to who can help you. I myself, my staff and my kids would laugh at me. I am a total idiot. I go online and I do all kinds of nonsense. But at least there's somebody there who can say, okay, let's go this way, that way, and you can go online and get the instructions as to how you can do it. But there's a person, there's a face. You could come to the open campus and one of our staff can help you. Staff, as well as we have a technician on site as well, where you can go directly to him and he help you to navigate. So everything is laid out for you. You have no excuse.
So folks,
folks,
you're hearing it. You're hearing it from the head of the open campus herself. Remember, if you're on the live, please share the live. If you have a child that is within that age and they want
you yourself, remember you
myself,
yourself.
Yes, I'm very much thinking about that. I know Mustique is heavily involved. I have some friends there at Mustique Charitable Trust, so I have to send them a letter because I know they help. Tell us about that partnership with Mustique.
So Mustique Charitable Trust offers the best bursary I've ever heard about in my head. In my
Big up
university
Mustique,
life. They pay 60% of your fees throughout the entire whether it's 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, until you finish your degree. They pay 60%, and you then pay 40%.
Mario go pay the 40 for me.
So if you've gone for a loan, you realize now your loan then can stretch so much longer, or you don't need to take the whole loan because if you don't have a loan, you can't afford a loan, at least there's an opportunity as well. So they offer you 60% of your fees, plus they give you a laptop.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it goes for the entire period. So Mustic is indeed one of our, major sponsors, but I also have to mention the ECGC.
Big up ECGC too, boy.
Oh, yes.
They help as well?
They give bursaries, 4 bursaries per semester.
Wow.
But these are unlike the Mustic Trust, which I said is very unusual. Yeah. It's a one-shot bursaries.
Okay.
So you get 4 students get $2,000 for each semester, so it's 8. Right. Careers also has been involved. Giving bursaries of $1,500, and of course we're constantly trying to get other people too. Even if you offer 2 bursaries, right now a course is about 12, 21 or 31 per course. So somebody gives you a bursary, that's one less course you have to pay for.
Exactly.
I mean, you get a bursary from ECGC, that's 2 courses approximately. So we have those types of support on site.
Right.
But there's also the open campus scholarships. There are the UWI friends in the United States, in Canada, Gala. So you could apply for those scholarships as well.
Right.
So that those are some of them are full scholarships, some are bursaries. So again, don't be deterred if you find, oh gosh, I can't afford it, I can't manage. Come and see how you can get. You might get some help that you didn't anticipate. But I really want to show so much appreciation to people who offer bursaries.
Right.
Just recently, someone passed on, and their estate is looking at giving 1 or 2 bursaries. To help people. Like you say, empowering our community. UE, I believe strongly, and certainly at our site.
Right.
We do believe that we have to be more than you just come. Study. You get a, first class honors, second class honors, and have a degree. Right. No, it has to be about building community. So we are involved in doing a literary fair, poetry competitions, country conferences, and all of these lectures, so that the community could come and be part of it. Right. When we were about to, when we were there languishing and not moving in, one of our fans, I call him, wrote to the Vice Chancellor and said, what are you doing? You need to get the staff back in the place. And that is exactly what I wanted. I wanted the community to own us, own that building and own us. Absolutely. And I said to staff, once you put yourself out there and said, community, come own us, you have to make sure your game is up. You can't be doing mediocre stuff. Because the community is watching and saying, how come you are not doing that? How come you are not doing that? And we want you to be accountable to the community. So all of that to say is that please come take advantage of the opportunity for a tertiary education. Take advantage for learning more, being involved, giving us your opinion. And we have a certain little core group of fans that they don't play to give us their opinion.
They're vocal like that.
They're vocal like that. And so we try to do, everything we do, we try to involve the community. So down to the bottom line of it is to give the student the very best experience that they can have at university, even if they have not left to go to a landed campus.
Awesome.
So I said, come to the lectures, come to the fair, come, no just sit there in your pajamas and study till 3 o'clock in the morning, which is again another option.
Exactly.
You could go as Fernando said, you can be going to school, but you also have your family. You could be at home. You could still be getting a promotion.
Right.
You don't have to give up, come back. You could continue your life, but this also you could go in a parallel fashion.
Yeah, and remember with that qualification, it improves your chance for qualification as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Qualification.
Boy, I go in. I need to sharpen my English skills and all these things, so I could get some promotion
you think
up.
Mr. Joseph is listening?
Look at that.
I think. And Miss Richardson should be listening as well. That's the big Monday. Let me ask. Let's talk about the courses that you offer and the cost, because I know you have.
Our Ronnie made sure he gave me.
Make sure Ronnie boy, big up Ronnie.
To work with. Okay, so just to give you a little smattering of what we have for undergraduate programs, Bachelor of Science, you have in the business courses, the accounting, banking and finance, entrepreneurship, marketing, etc. Those types of business programs. But we also have political science, psychology, social work, and the new sport faculty where we're offering coaching and kinetics and so on in sports, sport leadership. We also have tourism and hospitality management, which is very key in our developing states, youth development work, and so on. In the associate's degree, you have business management, paralegal studies. You could have a diploma as well. In some of these same programs as in undergrad, you could have the diploma, because as we're saying, depends on where you come in. You might be coming at a diploma level. Then we also have the graduate programs, an MA in English language, and some master's programs in education, like teaching and learning with emerging technologies, literacy instruction, and so on and so forth. You also have instructional design and technology, just to skip management, and some project management and so on. So there's a wide range. Early childhood education, a diploma in that, and again, instructional design, teaching with emerging technologies, so that we are abreast of what is happening. And there are some doctoral programs as well. But you can go online and at www.open.uwi.edu, and you can follow through, get to the program, see what's available, and so on. Now, in terms of cost, as I say over and over again, you can't get better value for your money here. For about 30,000 EC dollars, you can have an undergraduate degree, and that could be stretched over 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
And like we said, there are also opportunities for assistance, because one course is about 1021 EC dollars.
Yes.
And like everything else, you're forced to increase, but we've really tried to keep the cost as affordable as possible for our people.
Absolutely.
And you could have a graduate degree for approximately $25,000. And again, stretch over the period of time, pay as you go, and always opportunity to get some assistance.
Wow.
So
that is a lot. I see somebody is asking if I can get a BS in BS. A BS in BS. I think he's playing around.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he can find his own way to that, but not at the open campus.
But in terms of like you said you get do you do associate degree? Tell me about the qualifications as far as you go up.
Yeah, we go up as far as a doctorate.
A doctorate.
Right, you could do a doctorate, but again, we usually have to look at this for every semester, because some semesters, some courses are not offered.
Right.
Because for quality assurance, sometimes you have to take off some courses, check them over, make sure they meet a certain standard. So not every year you'll have everything.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you can start from certificate course, diplomas, undergrad, which is BA, BSc, master's degrees, and the EDD, the doctorate in education programs.
Right.
So you can go right up to the top. Yes.
Awesome.
Our number, just in case people want to call us, is 456-1183 or 485-6606. So those are the numbers, and I've given you the website that you can go on. And of course, we're also on Facebook as well. So it's open. Please call. Please drop by, and I'm sure there will be something for you.
Amazing.
And I mean you in the plural.
everybody. I need something indeed. I definitely need.
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
And I'll call my friends at Mustique. Mario, you have any course you want to post? You already reached to the top to the pinnacle.
I'll have to look at the catalog and see what I can do.
Because usually for the bursaries, there's a form that it's online as well, but you can fill out a form, and then we go through and do interviews and so on, so to make it as open as possible.
Wow. So folks, you hear the affordability, qualification,
convenience.
There is just so much that UWI has to offer, and I said that I'm very impressed, because from time to time I attend these press conferences, and I see all that they're doing.
Right.
The building was like a landmark. It's a landmark still.
Exactly.
You could say it's a landmark still, but they had to upgrade because of some inconveniences.
Yeah.
So they're making it more better for the students and so forth. So if you're out there, you need to upgrade on your education, like myself and DJ Shady. You have any DJ course over there?
Well, we are offering a shop. We are some I'm glad you said that, because that triggered that. I also offer the continuing professional education courses, which are short 10-week programs over a period. We offer those, and I'm so happy that you remind me of that, because we're offering one now that media are very interested in on what you call, oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. But again, we have a bursary associated with that. It is to do, it's a media course, and we're now offering it for January. We've been offering it since last year, and we're offering it again, so people could call up and find out the course that we've been offering for media.
Awesome.
About public speaking and how to present yourself and how to do how to utilize the media and so on.
That sounds very important.
That's,
and at the end of that, what do you get at the end of that?
You get a certificate.
Okay.
You get a certificate. So those continuing professional education courses, you get a certificate at the end.
Right.
Most of them are 3 modules, 4 modules. So you can do one module and get a certificate just for that one module.
Right.
But if you do all 4, of course, it's a more meaningful certificate because you've done all of the courses, and we've done things like supervisory management, project development, business writing. There's a whole gamut of those courses as well that people could just go online and see so that they can apply.
Awesome.
And the COVID, did it cause a reduction in enrollment, or did it cause an increase in enrollment?
I think we all took a hit with COVID, the entire university, open campus for sure. But what was good about there's good in everything, but what was one of the things that was positive for us in the open campus is that we were online anyway.
Right.
Already.
Yeah. So that just drove a little bit more traffic.
Exactly. So we had to just put some things like the continuing professional courses, which were 10-week courses.
Right.
They too had to go online.
Right.
Okay.
So because we're already online. So yes, we did take a hit, but it could have been worse, and we're just very grateful that we're still here and we're still offering the excellent programs that we offer. And also, since the COVID as well, the government has also increased the number of tuition scholarships.
Yes, I
so
saw
quite
that.
a number of our students are taking advantage of those tuition scholarships as well. So we've had, because of that too, we're able to hold our own in the COVID time. There
Excellent,
as well.
excellent.
That's really, really good to hear.
So much fun,
man. Education is such a vital part of life. So to be able to further it and develop yourself is amazing, and I'm glad that you were able to come in and let people know that this opportunity exists and that they can take advantage of it. Thank you so much for coming in today.
So much. I don't know if you have any parting words, any sort of advice, anything you want to unleash.
I don't know if it's advice. I'm a social worker, so I think that word advice in a peculiar way. But I just wanted to say that when you get your education, it's about developing yourself. It's about internalizing what you're learning. It's very awful sometimes to hear people have done a degree and then you hear them speak and you realize, hey, what happened? What did they learn? The thing is that education has to make you grow internally as well. Right. And this is why as we grow internally, our country also grows.
Awesome.
So
there you go.
Awesome.
That's some great parting words right there. Grow internally, it's expressed outwardly as well.
Right.
I like it. All right,
thank
Mrs.
you so very much for coming.
You're absolutely welcome, and we're always happy, to
always
hear.
happy when you guys come in.
It's always a good experience.
There you go.
Tell Mr. Joseph that and Miss Richard.
Awesome.
There we go. We're getting kudos of the highest order right now.
Thank you so much, guys.
All righty.
Keep it locked down. We do it for Barry. About now, Barry's have parts like peas. Barry's Auto Parts. Come in and check us out. We've got parts for different vehicles: windshield, front cut, fender, bonnet, headlight, startless parts to the van parts, and van genuine drums, and a whole lot more. Give them a call at 593-5226. Also on Fleek Boutique, they've got everything that you need for all kinds of events.
On Fleek.
That's right. Check them out in the same building or call 497-8227. This is Boom 106.9 FM. We take it to the top right about now. And we should have news coming up, shouldn't we?
We should.
All right.
All right, DJ Shady, take it over.
We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
Me say action move, hey, you don't know it go. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom 106.9.
Moto there. Hey, turn it up on the outside, yeah. Everybody on the outside, yeah. If you can't be my woman, I don't care. I want you to be the outside woman, yeah. And if I can't be her man, I don't care. I want to be the outside man, woman. The people call me outsider, 'cause me honey, me lover.
we shake and we low bar. Outsider, say outsider. If you can't be my woman, I don't care. I want you to be the outside woman. Hey, hey. And if I can't be her man, I don't care. I want to be the outside man. Woman, well, I'm giving you on. You taking my on. I giving you on. You taking my on. I giving you bun. You taking my. I giving you on. Hey, yeah. Hey, I don't want no one woman. All I want is plenty woman. Give me plenty woman. I don't want no one woman. All I want is plenty woman. Give me plenty woman. You know why them girl, them does,
Nobody can stress me. Happy. My life is happy. Happy. I'm more than happy. I'm living it up. And I'm singing it now. I'm not giving it up. So we don't have no time with them if you feel it. Bless. Jump up and say as if you're feeling. Bless. Walk out and beat your chest if you're feeling blessed.
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
Why can't I leave you alone? Baby, tell me Why can't I leave you alone? take the fussing and I can't take the fighting. I can't take the ning. I can't take the headache, I can't take the heartache, can't take the nagging, baby. If it wasn't for the kitty cat girl, trust me, I would have gone long time. And above the kitty cat girl, or else I would have gone long time. They say a hook and a hook. I just love how the kitty cat look. They say she put something in my meal, but I just love how the kitty cat feel. Come kitty, come kitty, come to me, come to me. How can I leave you when you're perfect for me? Girl, it's the kitty cat that have me still, yeah. Otherwise I would have gone long time. It's the kitty cat that have me still, yeah. Otherwise I would have gone long time. Them say big man don't cry, big man don't cry, big man don't cry. But that's a big lie, 'cause every night I'm on balling. Why you do me that, my darling? Yeah. She give the nine away. Why you give the nine?
We are the trending station. We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
I think you're too damn wicked. You're too damn wicked, wicked, wicked. I give you shoes, I give you dress, I give you brand. I give you gold, I give you watch upon your hand. I give you trips, I give you flights, make sure you're good, girl. And still you take another boy.
With the stories making news, brought to you with the kind compliments of Murchison General Insurance, I'm Mario Ravello.
And I'm Fonando. Tafik Seaton, a 27-year-old farmer of Georgetown, was arrested on Saturday and charged with the possession of one Glock 40 pistol and 16 rounds of .40 ammunition without a license issued under the Firearms Act. Police said that a party of officers attached to the Rapid Response Unit were on mobile patrol duties about the Georgetown district when they observed Seaton with a grey Gucci bag at a restaurant and bar in the area. The officers became suspicious and requested a search, which led to the discovery of the firearm and the ammunition. Seaton was cautioned and later charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition and is scheduled to appear in court to answer to the charges.
The Kingstown Town Board will not allow anyone to carry out vending operations on the streets of Kingstown once they've been cleared. This was made clear by the warden of the Kingstown Town Board, Clayton Bergen, in an interview with the St. Vincent Times on Monday 14th. He said, quote, "We are asking persons out there to take note that when we clear the streets, don't come to the town board and ask to go set up, because it will not be facilitated, and the law will be enforced to ensure that this does not happen. This would simply be unjust to those who were removed, and a step back based on the vendors' relocation project." Bergen said to St. Vincent Times that there are also plans in place to place no vending signs in several areas around Kingstown, and urged the business community to help in this regard. He said, "We are also going to see how far we can go in putting up signs that say no vending. I think maybe some of the business people may want to help in this regard because it comes at a cost, but we have to do it. The police would work along with us because it's going to be a continuous process until we get it right."
And Eyewitness News journalist Kenton X. Chance, who is founder and executive director of Eyewitness News, has become the first Vincentian to be awarded the Distinguished Taiwan Aluminum Award from the Taiwan's Ministry of Education. Taiwan's Minister of Education, Wensheng Pang, bestowed upon Chance the award in recognition of his outstanding professional achievement and his contribution to promoting exchanges and cooperation between Taiwan and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On Monday, Taiwan Ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Peter Shalai Lang, presented the award on behalf of his country's government during a ceremony at the Taiwan's embassy in Kingstown. Chance is one of 10 people globally to have received the award this year, and Lang noted that he is one of the only two of the recipients who operate their own business. "I believe that Mr. Chance is the only one of the two who represents the area of the Caribbean, and I also have to say this is the first time a Vincentian got this award," Land said.
And that's news here on Boom 106.9 FM, brought to you with the kind compliments of Metricent General Insurance. Keep it locked on as we inform as well as entertain.
Dating your debts or shopping for Christmas gifts for the loved ones? With a loan from the Penny Bank this Christmas, you can start ticking those items off your wish list. The possibilities are endless. Get up to $40,000 in personal loans with an attractive interest rate and up to 5 years to repay. And here's a gift for you under your tree. No payments until January 2023. You can even qualify to be one of our lucky weekly winners in December. Visit the St. Vincent Cooperative Bank today or call 45-61894. Promotion runs from the 17th of October until December 16th. The St. Vincent Cooperative Bank, the Penny Bank, and so much more. SVCDL terms and conditions apply.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metricent General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metricent General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784-456-1821 or email us at metricent@fintisurf.com.
Here's a chance to win with your favorite credit union. It's the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited 45th Anniversary Theme Competition. All members of the credit union are invited to submit their themes for the credit union's 45th anniversary, which will be celebrated in 2023. All theme ideas should be submitted via email to marketing@tccusvg.com on or before November 30th, 2022. The member with the winning theme will receive a prize of $450. So put on your thinking cap, be creative, put pen to paper, and win. The SVG-TCCU terms and conditions apply.
Higher education is a must for your future. UE Open Campus is in touch, no more than ever. We offer programs of quality, affordability, online, on-site, on demand, from undergraduate to PhD. Fulfill your dreams, acquire your degree at Open Campus. Come in and see us at UE Open Campus. Your success is a must.
Apply today. Visit our website at www.open.uwi.edu. You can call us at 456-1183.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Boom 106.9.
Somebody represent for the barbs them. Nicky this, Nicky that, Nicky mad.
Caribbean girls run it.
Fully done.
Come say, look, me sick of you. Man, make you miss your appointment. Give me love, but work for the work. Dance honey, this the whole place, shake it, boom, boom, the gal. From the baby, you want this, no me don't spoil. Dog all up, so this shit nobody want me. I never feel no way, dog. I never start today, I'm waiting on the yard. And it's around the same thing, dog. I thought about that, I made the girl want, and I live by my part. And so, and I know me if it's not a video. She know me to make her wear the muckle. Car roll it, and then I get nothing, girl. And so, and I know me if it's not a video. She know me to make her wear the muckle. Car roll it, and then I get nothing.
Mr. Egg and bad, how you done? My body done up and them girl, them I'm a fan. Man, put a ring upon my hand, make me put me like a tight up on your jaw. Dance all need this, the old place, shake it, boom boom. Clapping on his all night. He in Jamaica moving. Soon as I see him, I'm on sight. The wine, the prettiest face, card not decline. Me shotgun and I'm carrying. Right, that's all. Bad guy, me and the wickedest Barbie, a sking lick me.
Get it up. And then up me if it's not a video. She know the make her the muckle. Car rolling, and then not getting nothing done. Get it up. And then up me if it's not a video. She know the make her the muckle. Car rolling, and then not getting nothing done.
It's Boom 1069.
So Mario, we are doing so many construction in the country, and yet still there are no program for the plumbing, electrician, masoning, and carpentry. So how many office jobs are there for all these other things that they teach us? What about the practical labor skills? Why there is no program for that?
Nah, there is. I've seen.
Oh, there are
I've
programs
seen,
for. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually was to sign up for electrical program.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Shady counteracting.
I tell you.
Yeah, I've seen more than one.
Counteraction.
Oh my goodness.
Have electrical, have plumbing, and so forth.
Shady to the rescue. Look at you wondering.
Yeah, I've seen it, so I that's why I could say.
Yeah, Bob. How much money does make?
What money I just make?
Them insiders pay $2. Inside that $2. Can't too much style you have. If you have 3-4 stars, you have 5 stars. That's $10. Most style you have, you pay.
Okay.
Outside that $5.
Okay.
This is a vendor.
Right. So
And
outside is 5.
Start from Randy. You start to pick up from Randy morning. You reach up Massey. I don't know where I take money from. Every day. So I make kind of money, they make good money.
You see, and this is what we need. We need vendors speaking out like this so I can.
One buy
get
take
the
money.
Right.
Plenty of them take money. So they make good money.
Right.
I just talk about I think.
Yes, $5 at the table. Outside is $5. Yeah, boy. Outside is $5 at the table. Inside $2 a style.
$2 a star.
If you have 10 table,
Yeah.
you understand? See how much money you have to pay?
Yeah. You're in there.
Hey, Carla, you're on Boom 106.9. Good morning.
Good morning, sir, gentlemen.
Yes,
Good morning.
My name is Hugh Stewart.
Hugh Stewart.
A farmer.
Hey, yes.
I'd like to talk on the vending issue.
Yes, sir.
I have an article coming out, I think this weekend, on it. I'm saying market vending is an economic activity. It's a basic one. People do it to collect sufficient money so as to satisfy some needs, such as food, clothing, and shelter. Very few vendors have enough money to save for traveling, even to build a house. There are many vendors who are vending at the same level or capacity for quite some of years. Very few are able to expand the business. Right? To attempt to clean up Kingston Central Market is rather short-sighted. On all the streets of Kingston, there are vendors in front of every supermarket and elsewhere. There is a need for national strategy for employment creation. It's reflected on the high unemployment state of this country now. For relief and distribution law box will not solve the problem. I'm saying everyone can be employed by the state.
Yeah.
I'm skipping, people earning income by vending on the streets in Kingston. This is a direct result of government trying to re-engineer the national economy. Survival is a personal interest of every intention. And we should do so morally and legitimately. And that is precisely what vendors in Kingston have been doing. They may not all be successful, but it is the right to fail. And that's the gentleman.
Thank you very much, Carla, for that contribution.
It's coming out on Friday, I think.
On Friday? All right. I'll look out for the article.
All right,
so
Mr. Stewart.
Now, I go to the market and streets every week. I observe them what they're doing.
Right.
I sympathize with a lot of them. There are a lot of producers to sell.
Yeah.
Some of them, in my view, too expensive. I tell them that from time to time. But they need money.
Yeah.
School books, rent, household items, etc., etc. There must be a better way to do things.
Yeah.
If government were to open up the external markets, it will make it possible. Remember, government closed the Marketing Corporation,
Right.
and the Banana Association. I think the Irish Association even close them right now. Probably it is. And it's very difficult for traders to get assistance to trade. So when farmers in the countryside produce little stuff, they will know to sell it for Kingston or markets in the countryside. So even though Bergen say nobody should go there, it brings hardship on the people still. I know Kate and supermarket about customer there. They started very small.
Yeah.
And they're going to grow. I know the lady in the marketplace, she started very, very small. She's able to grow. She's not in her own building now. One of them. But not many of them grow, sir.
Yes.
The country is catching its tail.
Yeah.
So, for people to say, vendors should be doing that, that's short-sighted. If we have outlets, what we can do? What we can produce, we can't buy enough, can't buy all the agricultural produce in this country here.
Right.
So in the outside market, big population centers.
Call it 30 seconds to wrap it up, please, okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Need population centers, Portersville, Bridgetown, New York, Miami, London, etc. Big population centers with which we can trade.
Yeah.
People get money to spend. What? People want money.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All righty.
Yeah. And so it's just interesting to get the different perspective on things. I saw someone saying, well, Fonando, it seems like you have an agenda and you supporting the vending and this and that, and each of us have a different opinion on how we see things, right? So we have to discuss this issue, and there are persons who you would claim that I have agenda, but you have an agenda because you don't want me to express that, which I think, my opinion. So what I'm saying, folks, we have to be, we have to listen to each other's opinion and find the best solution possible to this situation. Some persons saying just send them in the market and that would solve the situation. I'm just saying that wouldn't solve the problem.
Why would it not solve the problem?
Because everybody would not be going into the market. There is a need for designated areas, as persons would have indicated, and I agree that outside that market square area in right outside Central Market could be an ideal place for a designated area for market vendors. Council was also talking about Heritage Square, and it's not living up to the name of Heritage Square because there's not anything that has to do with heritage taking place there. So yes, we have to ensure that the tongue is clean. We have to ensure that the vendors, and yesterday we went and we saw the condition of the new market, at least one of the new market, which is very, very nice and well organized. And I was impressed with it. Carla, you're on boom. Hello?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Max.
Max.
I hate morning. Fonando, boy, pick up yourself for that live coverage yesterday.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here who can't see the comments.
Yeah.
The comments is sweet and nice. Pick up yourself, big man.
Respect.
What I see now, the solution to this vending problem is not vending enough. The solution to this vending problem is if this administration had provided a quarter of the jobs that they have promised over the 20 years in power, people wouldn't have to resort to vending. If we had promoted our tourism product like our tourism product is supposed to be promoted, people would have had meaningful jobs on these beaches, plying their trade.
So where would I get food?
Huh?
Where would I get food?
Where would I get food?
Yeah.
Remember we had the bread basket of the Caribbean, so the food supposed to be there one time. The food should be a secondary problem for us because we have so much food that we had the bread basket of the Caribbean, big up Tabasco one time. That if we providing food to the Caribbean because of the bread basket to the Caribbean, food should have been a secondary problem for us. But somewhere along the line, somebody convinced us importing food is more important than the medicines that we grow in St. Vincent and Grenadines.
No.
So we have to look at this as a holistic problem, and we have to figure out how did we get here. But a lot of us don't even want to acknowledge how did we get here, so therefore we can fix the problem that continues to take us there.
Right.
So and it's a sad reality that we are now faced with, that people are being forced to put on the breadline just before Christmas. I understand how desperate it is for you to be able to make a $20 a day, and now somebody take that away from you, and now your children can't eat ham for Christmas, even though we don't eat pork.
Well, I think what is being said is not that they're kicking food out of your mouth, but they're putting you in an area that is more,
is more conducive to selling. It's out of the way. It's organized.
And I 100% agree with that, because guess what? Them vendors should have moved 15 years ago.
They should have moved earlier.
But my thing is now, we have 46% unemployment rate. Therefore, everybody has to figure something to do to eat a food. Now, if you have 100 vendors and you create a building for 50 vendors, where the other 50 gonna go? What the other 50 gonna do? And it's not just 50. Those 50 people have 2 and 3 children. So with them other children who used to eat food yesterday because they was allowed to vend illegally, might I add. With them, the people pick go eat. So we have to really look at this as a holistic problem, you know, and a lot of people say this and that and the other.
Right.
You know what, but it's a sad reality that I just want to send positive energy to the vendors and them, because I don't know what it's like to have somebody chop off my 2 hands and them and me can't feed my daughter.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
Sometimes you hand them, but the problem is now, 200 of them full of cancer, so the 100 of them have to chop off. So damn if you do, damn if you don't.
There you go.
Right. Thank you
That's
very
it.
much for those
Thanks
points,
for
man.
putting it in the context like that.
Yeah.
Easy.
And Maxi, Mario, you see, and I think what is happening as well, why there's so much pushback, because the government sort of allow it to foster for too long. Yeah, it's because as someone is saying, as soon as someone come on the streets, they want to sell. The tongue board just go and take the money from them, rather than rather than saying, hey, you can't be selling here. So the more persons you have now is a bigger problem.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning. Now, Borgin, I heard him on another radio program this morning. But my problem with Borgin, he only goes on 3 radio stations, 3 radio stations that's closely aligned to the government.
Wow.
Why don't he come to Boom? Why don't he go to the other 2 stations, the other 2 popular stations?
Exactly.
Where you can get a variety of calls. You know, that would be better public relations. Just stick to, his core audience.
Yeah. Well, we're going to reach out to him and see if we can get him to come on.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Thanks very much, man. And the caller has a point.
Yeah,
Borgin needs
of course
to come here.
You can't be in just your own echo chamber, right? You got to get the,
you gotta
get the
come
message
out
out.
and and persons gonna challenge you. Obviously, we have a wide variety of persons. someone is saying that I don't think the government is trying to stop vending.
See?
They just want it to be organized. The responsibility of a government is to do such, and that is what they're trying by putting the vendors indoor in an organized manner. Randy said we need a common ground via a broader economic lens. Indeed, as Max said, there can't just be dandruff with such a core issue that will affect lives. Yeah, and you see, this is what I'm saying. You have to look at all these things.
I hear you, but you guys aren't looking at all the things.
We're looking at
because I'm only hearing I stand with the vendors. The vendors, right? You're taking food out of them.
No, you're not only hearing that, man. You hear persons are saying that there's a need for that to happen. I agreed with you, but I'm just saying, you also have to understand the culture, understand what has been fostered for so long, why persons are so hesitant to
hesitant.
So does that make it right?
No, it doesn't make it right. But as what I'm saying to you, you have to have that understanding. And as the pastor would have pointed out, you have to have that compassion. It just doesn't mean that because there are a lot of vendors on the street, you're just saying, hey, let's get them here, and that is it. That is it.
But that is not what they're saying. They provide a place, and they say that.
But what I'm
you gotta move things.
Right. But what I'm saying to you, there are a number of factors that are at play, and we have to also adjust those rather than just in a sense think that everybody's gonna go into the market one time. Everything is in place.
A number of factors at play, like what?
Timing of movement is a factor, in my opinion. Now Christmas season is upon us, and I do hope that they can get this thing organized before Christmas goes into full effect, because now it's gonna cut down in terms of the vendors' income. Now that they have to move,
people not gonna stop buying. People will just go.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, there's a number of issues associated with moving. Whether it's the number of things that you have to get inside the market, whether it's the space that you're gonna utilize. Communication was a factor, as a number of vendors pointed out. Do they have enough time, or is the system gonna give them enough time to really adjust them to move? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are a number of factors at play that we have to be mindful of, rather than just sticking at one part where you're saying that everybody has to go into the market and that's it. We're no longer gonna allow this and no longer gonna concern about this. What persons are saying, you have to understand while there is a need for compliance, there is a need for compassion. So we have to be compassionate and understand that the point of view of the vendors, and that's why persons will have opinion, because everybody's not gonna agree with the vendors.
Right.
Some persons are gonna look at the vendor standpoint and say, well, they had no point, just go in the market and that is it. But I'm also saying that these vendors do have concern about moving. They're probably in an area for 15-20 years, and they have to move. They know that they have to move. They will need time to move, and all these things. I'm just looking at that rather than just saying one chop mine, bam, just move. That's how I see it.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it.
But
I
want this kind of articulation with other points too. Huh? All right. I want this kind of unpacking on different points too. Huh? You see how you unpack there and you look at different sides.
Yeah.
I want that kind of unpacking when it comes to different things.
I do agree that the vendors have to move where they're causing a problem to businesses. Yeah. And the facilities that at least the facility that I saw, I think it was two in the same location.
Right.
They look good. They look spacious. They have good ventilation and all that. So that is being presented to them. Take advantage of the opportunity, and let's move forward. But I'm just saying there would be some pushback, and I understand that. There's just a need for the compliance and compassion, as Pastor pointed out. So somebody's saying you move them in January, they're going to say Christmas just finished and we need money. I don't know, but I don't know. Christmas moving and during the Christmas season, I still wonder why they didn't do it like in October, where we have independence and so forth. I don't know, and maybe someone could explain better for me. but I'm not making excuse for anybody. We have Pastor coming up, and we have a number of comments here. It's the same administration who told them years ago to stay in the road and don't go in the market when it was built. So you're hearing that as well. So, but what Winston is saying, that was allowed to foster for
listen to them on that point. But not that they're saying, well, move. It's the same people that tell them stay, so they'll stay. But the same people that say
tell them move,
they're not going to move.
Yeah, because you already tell me stay.
So how you listen when I tell you stay, but now I tell you move, you don't want to listen.
You know what I mean?
Because you need to get your acts together, man.
No.
You need to
I'll
get
allow
your
you to stay for how much years?
Well, it was there for a long time.
I know
it was there for a long time.
Guys, we gotta move.
Yeah.
But don't forget that. With Vincentians, we should do this.
I like the idea of the street between
the market there, page there,
and
yeah,
even the middle street from Jack's go all the way up. I could see like Friday, Saturday vending between.
I even said that same Heritage Square thing, but you know he's not giving me props to that. He'll give
but
Joe more props to that.
But I didn't.
I said that. I said
when did you say that? When did you say that?
Where Western there? Remember I said that.
Let my partner come in. Let my partner come in, boy. Come pray for Mario.
Pray for what are you hearing? Let's bring in the doc.
That coming at this boy. Hey, you're getting big kudos. My friend messaged me. That man who was on the radio, boy, he speak well. He bigging you up, boy. My partner normally don't talk like that, but he big you up. I mean, it's just that you're compliant because there is a need for compliance.
Let's check in with the doc.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Never seen one boy could just use one talking point to try and just sell it.
What are you guys talking about? Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. I can't see you now. I'm taking my camera, so you know.
Man. It's good to be alive, and
they're whipping me with the words today, huh? They're whipping me.
Mario, my friend, why would it? My words?
Your words.
Compassion.
What? You know what? I thought that's a useful paradigm to begin to break this thing down around because right there, you see right there. They propose for the new listeners today. Yesterday, I said that the matter could be addressed looking at it through the frames of compassion and compliance, which really on the part of those of us who those who are pushing the angle from the businesses in Kingston, the established businesses. We said, watch your language, watch your talk. Not everyone heeded that because I still heard certain narrative that really is debasing of the. By the way, Mario, I sent you a post that I'd like you to look at and put up if you think it's worthy. But we have to be very careful how we speak about this part of our commerce in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and rather than relegate it to the basement and being undesirable, we have to find a way to leverage this dynamic aspect of Vincentian commerce, which is vending. And sometimes we throw out the baby with the bathwater. You all hear me well. Vending is not an undesirable thing, and we don't need to posit it as an undesirable thing. What we are discussing, not so much therefore, is the issue of vending, but I think I heard one commentator, it may have been Mr. Weeks, I'm not sure. But what we are discussing really is how it is done, how it is orchestrated, and how it is played out. So I said from that angle, we have to watch our speech as it comes across with greater level of understanding and compassion. And on the other end too, I made a case which I don't often make, but for certain reasons, I decided yesterday to make a stronger case than I normally would make for compliance, because in the absence of compliance, you have chaos. Those two things, one or the other. In the absence of compliance, you have chaos. And I think some people picked up on it, and I thought it was very helpful in the discussion, so that there's balance and there's interplay. So somewhere between, and the solution for this lies somewhere betwixt and between a push towards compassion and a compassionate approach, and a push towards compliance. And I believe once we begin to merge those two and we get a confluence of compassion and compliance, and we will be flowing in the right direction. All right. That's a good word there, confluence, Mario. All right. You may want to. Yeah. I mean, and I said that on half a cup of coffee. Can you imagine what I would say with a full cup?
I mean? If you were fully jabbered up.
But by the way, you guys scared me this morning when you played my drop so early. I was like, am I missing a memo or something?
Shady wanted to bring a semblance of balance to the whole conversation, so he was trying to bring you in early.
Yeah. I don't think that the tongue board is against vending,
All right.
Sometimes we get so extreme with our narrative and talk and this and that. The tongue, Mario, come on. You realize the vending is low hanging fruit for the tongue board in terms of, I mean, you're not going to give up somewhere between $150,000 a year to $250,000 a year, give or take. You're not going to, and I mean, how much does a tongue board have to do to realize $200,000 a year? I mean, off vending is lucrative for tongue board. Mario, are you there? Guys, are you there?
What is going on here?
Yeah,
we are here.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What's going on? What's going on over there?
I had someone here that took it out of the studio, not realizing that this is what feeds the audio. Stop touching things.
So you heard what I said about the $250,000, right? Well,
I did.
150. I mean, do the math. Do the math. What does tongue board have to do?
Yeah.
To realize, let's say $150,000 on the low end.
Yeah.
I mean, no capital, no infrastructure, nothing.
Right.
And you just go around and you collect, and at the end of the year, $150,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right.
Tongue board, you think tongue board on a whim is going to give up $150,000? They're probably not going to get that off tourists. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have to weigh tourism and vending, from tongue board's perspective, I'd say they come out better allowing the vending. I don't think tongue board is against vending. All right. So let us hold off that talk. Right. But there's follow me. I'm going somewhere. That's the first question I asked. That $150,000 or more. Secondly, the amazing coincidence between the change of management at at PH Vera. The amazing coincidence between, hello, you there, right?
Yes, we are.
I just have to check that you're there. I don't want anybody playing with things and pulling things out.
No,
all right.
no,
I want my listeners, I want my people to hear this.
Yes,
the amazing coincidence between.
Hold on. I think someone is saying your audio is.
All right. You're messing with things in the studio. You're sabotaging my comment today.
All right. You're up now.
Okay, so I talk about the coincidence between the change of management at PH Vera.
Right.
And the sudden austere measure that the very day that PH Vera is on the new management and all of that, okay, Claro. And I mean, I was about to say lame excuse. It may come across lame to some people. Move all of the stuff around PH Vera because they have trucks coming in. Oh gosh, if you have trucks coming in, they're not delivering through a wall, delivering through through some portals. Yeah, entrances. So I could understand clearing the entrance, but I mean, so I thought that there was a bit of specificity related to PH Vera that was not necessarily related to Jack's or related to People's Pharmacy or something. Why particularly PH Vera? And on that day, and the reason, I won't say excuse, the reason given, trucks need to be passed. Who sent that circular? Somebody has some kind of leverage over Tongboard. Somebody has some leverage over Tongboard. It's clear to me. Somebody would have communicated to the Tongboard. Somebody, I'm not sure where, but somebody, because that didn't happen uptown by Grace. That didn't happen. Like I said, at People's Pharmacy. That didn't happen at Corey's Mini Mart down there. That happened specifically at PH Vera. And you have to be very careful when you do things like this. That policy-directed things are much safer than sporadic, episodic things. Because with the degree of specificity related to one particular business, people are going to ask questions. Why? How come there? You have to be more global in your approach. If you're going to do something, make it more widespread. But once you do this for one particular business, somebody is going to ask, who pulled that string?
Yeah.
And if you then ask a question at some point down the road, once I have time, I might get around to asking that question, who pulled that string? In fact, a lot of the things here, and mind you, it's occasioned. We think it is occasioned by the change of management over at PHV. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of questions also would be answered. Mario, give me the answer. Who is in the new management team, the new shareholders, the power brokers now at what used to be at PH Vera? Tell me who, because if we know who, we might have some answers.
You want me to break the news now? So
you just go and break the news, huh?
You should tell us.
I think Doc no.
You think Doc no?
No. You see this right here? I know stuff in the Bible here. I pay attention to the Bible.
What we can say at the moment, and from based on the information they receive is a gentleman and his wife. The gentleman used to work at the St. Vincent Brewery Limited and so forth. I think that might give you some indication. He was at the St. Vincent Brewery for a number of years. He's a businessman. Laugh.
Mario, I want to give Fonando a lesson in France, but this might not be the time. I mean, okay. Let me. For example, if I ask you who was the president of the United States in the last administration, you say Trump. I say, okay, cool. I go with that. But officially, if you ask me who's the president of the United States now, you say Biden. But if you ask me who run things in the United States, I won't say Biden.
Okay. Well, that's not a problem of my picking.
let me leave it there. But you see, I'm provoking some, making you think who behind this thing. All right, it's not a one man thing. Okay, we know it's not. All right, but that would that, and again, because there's some things that seem to be peculiar and specific related to PH, what used to be PH Vera. For example, the other thing, you saw those signs, Fonando, I'm speaking to you now. You saw those signs, the no vending signs, no vending on the sidewalk. Yes. I asked the question yesterday, I didn't get the answer. Fonando, did you get the answer? Who owns the sidewalk?
Did you talk to Tom Board about the sidewalk?
I remember we didn't get to somebody.
I want to know who owns it, because if the sidewalks are under the purview, if the sidewalks are under the purview of the Kingstown Board, then I expect that the Kingstown Board can say no vending on the sidewalk. I don't know that any business that doesn't own the sidewalk, unless somebody made you feel that you have ranks and leverage and privilege, I think it's quite a presumptuous move to put up a sign pretending to have the powers of the town board, to put up a sign and say no vending on the sidewalk. So I hope it is not the private business that put up that sign.
Yeah.
Where do private business get off Where do private businesses get off? Oh gosh, you all don't mind me now. But where do they get off assuming the responsibilities of the Kingston board? Unless they own the place, unless they own the sidewalk, and unless it is in their purview and their rights to do that, then of course, if they own the sidewalk, then they could go ahead and do that. They can put up 20 signs for all that matters, but the matters that are related to Kingston board, let the Kingston board deal with them. But sometimes the dialogue behind the scenes, and I've been in business and administration and organizational life for so long that I understand what you see at the front. There's a whole mass of things behind that, and there's a lot. The action that you see, for example, yesterday, there's a mass of communication. Don't fool yourself. There's a mass of communication and dialogue and interplay and leveraging behind that. So what you see is only the spearhead of what really had been developing and organized along the line. So sometimes within that mass of dialogue and interplay, sometimes people feel like, okay, we have the green light, we have the go ahead, we have the power, we have whatever, we have the approval of the Kingston board. We can move in this, we can make the power move because Kingston board is going to back us. We have to again be very careful how we play out things such as this. It has to be more policy directed. It has to be more broad based. Once you begin to deal with it with such a very clear measure of specificity, as far as I am concerned, people are going to ask questions. What makes PH Vera or the former PH Vera so special as compared to the other stores? And there's something there. There was something there. What was the, and maybe eventually it will spread and percolate throughout the rest of the commerce or the rest of vending in Kingston. So, but it began at a core, and it began to coincide with the change for Hazel's, PH Vera on the 14th. Something is very, very uncannily specific about that coincidence, and that messes with the water. Is not as transparent as we want it to appear. That's not transparent. The other thing that so I'm looking at this from a different angle altogether today. Okay, again, I hope nobody finds issues with what I am saying here. These are just questions to be asked.
Pastor, it doesn't matter where you say somebody's gonna find issue, man. You just have to,
you call it right. But you see any problem? You see any problem with me saying, boy, Tongboard making a hall of vending?
No.
I mean, do the math. You have, let's say 100 vendors. Of course, you have way more than that. Let's say 100 vendors, right?
Yeah.
Mario, you got at the math. 100 vendors. Wait. 100 vendors. How much a day? $5 a day.
Yeah.
All right. So that's $500 a day minimum. Of course, it's going to be more. $500 a day. 6 days a week, because you're not doing it on Sundays. So, I presume 6 days. So 6 by 5, that's $3,000 a week. 52 weeks in the year.
Yeah.
All right. So that's $150,000 to begin with. That's enough money. So you can't argue with that.
Right.
What I said about the specificity of PH Vera and how it is done there, you can't argue with that. You can argue with the fact that what I said, private business is not supposed to, unless they own the sidewalk, they're not supposed to put out signs and rules and regulation governing the sidewalk. It's not your sidewalk unless somebody made you feel that is your sidewalk. That's not your sidewalk unless you're in such close collaboration with the Kingston board that there's a conflation between your powers and your rights and the Kingston board. But since who made you Kingston board? Stop that. Who vex with me vex?
But I've seen absolutely no vending signs out by Sultan and stuff too. I mean, no one's paying attention to it. But
whose property on their? They could put it up on their property.
And Pastor, I wanted to ask Mario that question as well.
Could ask me that question.
If you own a store or you rent a store in Kingston, you sell clothes and other items.
Right.
Do you think is it okay for you to take some of the clothes outside and sell as well?
If I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
You mean
if you're allowed to do it, sure.
Hanging on the building.
Yeah, or get having someone outside selling for you as well.
I don't know about all that, but I know that
we're very flexible with that. I mean, hard and fast rules and regulation for Pharisees, okay? And anytime you begin to govern people just by rules and not heart, you remember that, eh? You govern people by rules and not heart, you're begging for trouble. So you have to have rules. You have to have rules for law and order, but you have to have flexibility within the rules. Come on, man.
I guess that's why some people have it.
You know.
I like how you spoke.
I ain't done. Tell me.
No. You go ahead.
I know you're going to tell me we're running up on the time. Okay, so but here's the big matter, and the more fundamental matter, which I really should have spent the lion's share of my time discussing. The more fundamental matter is change and the necessity of change, the inevitability of change, but also the unacceptability of change. And change and progress run in congruence with each other. For progress, you need change. All right. For progress, you need change. If you don't have change, what do you have? Status quo and maintenance. Remember that. All right. But change is a very uncomfortable and unwelcome thing. And anytime you are within that genesis of change or in that fault line of change, I'm using tectonic plate argument here. Anytime two forces meet together tectonically and you begin to find that pressure and change, just like with the tectonic plates, you have volcanoes, you have eruptions in the same by the same metaphor. Socially, you have social eruption. People prefer the status quo, what they're comfortable with, how they're doing things, and that thing that is necessary, absolutely necessary for progress, which is change and disruption or disequilibrium, which I used to teach in economics, which is absolutely necessary for progress. We fight it. We fight change. And I think sometimes when we embrace the possibilities that come with the change, we will at the same time embrace progress. Could it be that there needs to be this kind of change in the way vending is done? Nobody is saying no vending. If you know me well and you've listened to me well, you know I'm an advocate for the vendors and understanding that. You know that. But could it be that it gets to the point where it's critical mass, Mario, critical mass, so that as the street gets to a particular point with vendors, then you want to begin to say, okay, we have reached a critical juncture, critical mass. We have to do something right now, else this become uncontrollable. And I think that is perhaps what is in the genesis of happening, that we are reaching critical mass with respect to vending in Kingstown, and therefore a change is necessary. Let me give you something that you could throw back to understand the comparison I'm making. There was a time when garbage collection was, you put out garbage anytime. You put out garbage anytime. You have a bag of garbage, you put it out. You have another bag of garbage, you put it out. And we used to call them the rubbish trucks or the garbage trucks. They would come around and they would pick up the refuse and all of that all the time. But and then I think CWSA, I think may have been responsible for public health, I'm not sure. But there came a point of change. And I don't know if people remember the resistance back then. People, but there was a resistance to it. We didn't want to. People, how can I keep rubbish in my house? You want me keep rubbish in my house? Flies and rats and roaches and all that. You know, what kind of draconian state this is? What kind of rule it is? But that was a change that was necessary. Right. That was a change that was necessary, and we have adapted very well to it. You remember when people used to just dump things any and everywhere, and some still do, but I mean, St. Vincent, just about any street, people just dead animals, garbage, anything, they'll dump it. But then you start putting up signs, no dumping here. And people resisted for a while, and there was a trickle of the dumping. But people have grown since then and have become accustomed to, we just don't dump stuff around St. Vincent. So some of the rules and some of the things and some of the changes that are necessary, which we fight at first, we realize, man, if we make these changes, it will be better for us. Who's to say that as we reconfigure, recalibrate, and chisel out a different way of doing vending? You're not stopping the vending. You're not dogging the vendors. Please don't do that. But let us find a way in which they can ply their trade. And I'm hearing so many different solutions being offered. But let's find a way in which they can ply their trade and make a little bit of money. That thing about pushing them up on the corner of Annisville is not going to work, okay? So let's stop that. But I've heard better options of cordoning off streets. Vendors are not really given to being inside of a structure. which the authorities seem to want to move them inside the structure. But if you're going to do that, in the same way people now go to fish market when they want fish, all right? They know where to go to get fish. They park and they go. But there could come a time where the mentality and the thinking of people is such that I want my fruits, I want my vegetables, and it could become a thing. It could become a happening where we walk through and nice, it could become a thing where if you can find a way to drive traffic, if you move vendors inside, if you can find a way, other attractions and music and ambience, if you can find a way, even like what the malls, they have different things happenings going on to make people want to come in the mall. So you're not only going there to buy things, you're going there to be entertained. If you can find a way, that could become part of the cultural life downtown St. Vincent, that we go in this place and we could spend long inside there. You could do that. You could do that. But if you're not going to drive traffic, then dotting the I's, crossing the T's, taking the vendors off the street and putting them somewhere is counterproductive if they're not going to make money there. So the idea, the main theme of what I've been saying here this morning is make the change. Change is necessary. Change will give progress, but at the same time, do it in such a way that is amenable to all, and that you don't displace the vendors and at the same time displace a great chunk of their income. If you can displace the vendors and move them differently, but at the same time guarantee that their income situation will not change drastically, the vendors will go for it. Go ahead, Mario.
Yes, man. Not Mario, Shady.
If everyone is in a
Shady
area, people have to go there to buy. So how the income gonna change?
Shady compliance, compliance. If everyone, but you see the Mavericks, Mario, the Mavericks want to play the system. The Mavericks want to play. The Mavericks want to play the system.
How are we all of a sudden going to start obeying the rules when you can't even get somebody to put something in a trash can because it's too far to walk?
Compliance and compassion.
Compassion, but we need compliance. We truly
yes, but all I keep hearing is you need compassion, but nobody's talking about the compliance.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Mario, you didn't hear me yesterday? I talked
about not you. I meant Fonando.
No. Talk about the compliance.
What compliance?
Yes, I can't talk about the compliance. I did emphasize a lot on compassion, but compliance.
What compliance did you talk about?
I said that forced me to go into the market. I did say that. Didn't I say that?
No.
Oh, come on, Mario. Didn't I say that?
I'll leave. Listen, let me leave you two guys to juke it out. Let me leave you two guys to juke it out. Let me take my exit. Yeah, but hey, guys, let us not fight good change, all right? Bad change is horrible. But if good change, embrace it. And again, our mentality has to be reconfigured so that we don't have this status quo maintenance thing, that we look for the good in the change and go for it. We don't have to dog every change. Let us support the change and see where it leads. Have a good day.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Doc, you know, be part of this plug fest.
Oh, boy.
You're trying to jam me in a car, but I have to speak on, those issues. But that don't worry. You're gonna say something that some person's gonna be upset with. Some persons start hitting Doc already. Some give him kudos. Some give him kudos. Talk your talk, Pastor. You're on point, Pastor. And all these things. So
Mario, I even know about that.
Mario getting legs left, right, and center. And for some reason, I have somebody who always seems to be hitting me. I want to tell him good day because each time I listen on a voice note, it seems like this person is trying to get at me. But this is what happened. We're going to end on this note. I want to end on a positive note to all those out there. If you feel like someone hates you or someone don't agree with you, it can't happen all the time.
Right.
As I was told that you could be the sweetest orange in the world.
Yeah,
there is somebody who don't like orange.
There you go. One word, compliance.
One word, he didn't say one word, boy. Compassion and compliance.
One word.
Hey, folks, we have to wait to the man. It was really a good program. Shady, thank you for all those who locking it down. Big up DJ Shady, big up Mario, myself, Namzi in the studio,
That's right.
Jill outside,
Namzi.
Alicia, good day.
We've got Jill, we've got the mindset happening as well today too. So giving you a little insight into mental illness, positive mindset and so on. Oh gosh, it's time for me to go to a meeting and see how Michelle watching me there with the baddest eye on earth. Like, boy, come off the air.
Bernadette said, good program today. Have a great rest of the day. Right. Yes, folks, thank you for making it a great program. And we're out. Yeah?
We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
Me say action move, hey, you don't know it go. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, 106.9.